Welcome to the Game Notes Trade Deadline Extravaganza, second annual move for us.
Let's go, Merles. Let's go.
We're going to find out where the arm dog is in a second. He's got the makeup going, the hair styled, so you can probably figure that out. We're going to find out what G's doing. Last I heard, he's hyperventilating because of the Marchand stuff. We got to find out where Posh is sucking his thumb over the New Jersey Devils and Jack Hughes news. But first, this episode is brought to you by Body Armor Flash IV. Body Armor Flash IV is packed with electrolytes and provides faster and longer lasting hydration with no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or dyes. With great taste and flavors like strawberry kiwi and tropical punch, Body Armor Flash IV gives your body the rehydration it needs to recover. I told you last week about the Flash IV. I liked it.
I need some.
I need it now. When I got the kids, I'm having a late night. I wake up in the morning. I got a million things I need to do, Army. You know that.
Oh,
and
my
the Flash
God.
IV puts me right back in the game. I get all my odd jobs done. It's the best thing on the market. Body Armor Flash IV. Get yours at a local 7-Eleven or on Amazon today. Arm Dog, where you at there, insider?
I am in studio, Rogers Sportsnet, trade deadline day. Ditching out right now to get the extravaganza kicking off with my boys and game notes here. Of course. Just flipped over to the chat. Chat is absolutely on fire right now. Everyone is abuzz. Lots of deals just started going down actually like in the last half hour here or so. And so it is electric around here. If you could imagine being in this hive right now, we got old Rick Bonus, 2,700 games behind the bench as an assistant or head coach in the show. They got that whole strategy room. Sammy Cosentino leading the way. And then we got our boy Busy on the main desk over there, just leading into Elliot Friedman, Elliot Friedman, and the boys, all the insiders around the world, breaking it all down. Elliot didn't sleep last night. I shared a room next to Elliot last night, like in the wall. I could hear him grinding the Rantanen trade, Merles, through the wall. I was eavesdropping. I was inside the insider. Well, hold on.
Whoa.
What? Oh my God.
Mel doesn't want to hear about that.
No, this is getting crazy. I was eavesdropping on the insider and was trying to hear how he operates. I mean, this guy, we went to dinner last night. I posted a picture. It may have been him. It may not have been Elliot. He was on his phone. He didn't talk. He's in full robot AI mode, just getting trades, breaking it down. I don't know how he does it, but it's pretty good energy in here right now, Merles. Pretty good. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I just saw your boots on the ground. I mean, we talk about boots on the ground when we want to go to a game and gamble. When it's trade deadline, you go right into the capital of the insiders. I love it, but I just want to check in on G because it can't be going good for him down in Newark.
He's melting down.
Boys, I don't know the last.
What a head of hair on you right now. I love this.
Like they're back.
The deadline
today.
extravaganza brings out the best in the boys before we go to your anxiety place here.
Well, actually, my anxiety started with I tried on two of my go-to suits about 2 sizes too small. I've gained a little weight this season, so I got to go buy some new suits. It's a bad day here, but even worse, I don't know the last time I felt like this. I have a pit in my stomach. Especially in the past hour, I'm getting text that Marchand is getting traded. No, take it down. No. See, all day is this. All day.
Wow, he looks good there.
Cheap shot. He does.
Vegas.
He does look
Vegas,
good.
baby.
He does look kind of good with the Vegas colors. But it's been a tough day. A lot of Senators fans saying I deserve this. They're probably right. They are probably right on that. But I'll say this, it's a tough day to be a Bruins fan. Brad Marchand, there's so much nostalgia, so much history. It's one of those things where, like, even if the return is great, you're still kind of pissed off about it. You always want your guy like Marchand, just like Bergeron did, to retire in the black and gold. So the fact that he might not scares the hell out of me. I still think he's an unbelievable player. He was good enough to be on Team Canada this past year. So we'll get into it more later, I'm sure, but I am freaking out. We actually have some breaking Devils news. If you want to bring Pasha in here.
What do you got?
Roll the disclaimer.
Roll the disclaimer.
Okay.
Kovacic.
What do you think of this one, Pasha? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name.
This is all I have to get excited.
Warning, the following statements are about to be made by a deranged Devils fan. The views expressed are his and his only. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt because, remember, he is a deranged Devils fan.
No, boys, like I said on Chicklets, you can retire the disclaimer till October. This team's done. They're cooked. Now, getting excited over a Kovacevic extension, which I do think is a good deal, but, just horrific news about Jack.
Oh,
Feel
just
terrible for
brutal,
him.
buddy.
Feel terrible for him. It's just awful for the fan base, the team. He deserves better. Devils are fucked. So
Dougie Hamilton.
I don't have much to say.
For a bit too, like cherry on top of just losing Jack in itself is like Dagger City for the year for them. I like that's a killer. You know what? You know me at the start of the year. Who do I have as my pony out of the gate? The Devils. So yeah. Adios, Devils. Adios, Pasha.
Yeah. Adios to me. See you boys in October.
Adios. Well, I mean, obviously the biggest news right now is all this Rantanen talk. You're right there on it. Is he going to Dallas? The deal was done. They're still crossing the T's and dotting the I's. What's the latest up there, Army, on him?
Well, I'm waiting to see what the return is for this guy, right? Like, what a story. And leaving Colorado, the price tag for what they were asking for him, what was he up to? Like $104 million offer. Obviously it's down a little bit from what he got, but he's going to a tax-free state and he's, there's like 5 Finns on the team, all really good, high quality players. I want to see what they got, but like this guy, he goes to Carolina and this was like a month ago, right? This is before the Four Nations, like this big, the boomer, they just said, no, you're done. We're out of here. And like, they didn't wait. They didn't try to like massage him and say, come on, we can sign you. Let's get this deal done. They just like, boom, he was gone. I found that crazy. And then think about where Carolina, the position they're in, Merles. Think about that. Like, yeah, okay, he's not fitting or he's not happy and he wants to move again. Like this, they just got rid of Natchez. They just got rid of a depth guy too in Drury. Like, it's like, oh no, like this guy was supposed to be the answer for us. And after the Gensel stuff last year and he left and went to free agency, signed in Tampa and what they gave up in prospects for that one too. Now Bunting in Pittsburgh moved on to Nashville and that trade tree keeps growing as well today with Luke Shen going to Winnipeg. But this Rantanen thing is crazy how this is, transpired for him getting traded twice in the last like 3 weeks to a month. And then now I want to see, I'm so curious to see when it comes up. You bump in here. I'm trying to keep track of everything, but like, Cruz is in the chat. Cruiser's in the chat watching.
We only trade for 2029 first-round draft picks so you can draft Cruz.
That's what G's loving it. There's
Keep it PG then. Little Army's here.
Here. He's in the chat buzzing around in here, freight from Mount St. Charles. And you don't think they're going to be ready to go against the Chicklets interview and Kess's team? And you don't think Little Caesars? Yeah, we'll see you at Nationals, boys. But I got to say this. I want to see the return for Rantanen. I cannot wait to see what it's going to be. Do you think Stankhoven's in there? I'd be kind of devastated if Stankhoven's in there, but I don't see, like, they got a lot of prospects, boys. They got some good young players and stuff, but I'd imagine it's going to be, a couple players, right?
That Maverick Bork is a big prospect for him. He's had
little
great
guys.
times.
They're just little guys, but you need to play a certain style to play there, Merles, right?
Yeah, and you have to remember, you traded Natchez. So, like, would you have ever traded Natchez for Stankhoven? No chance in the world.
This is crazy how this is working out.
Crazy how it's gone. Rantanen, he completely overplayed his hand. He thought, I heard the cap was going up. He's trying to get 14, 15 million out of Colorado. All of a sudden, he goes to Carolina without McKinnon, and like, oh shit. Like, I'm not as good as I thought I was. I'm not going to get that 14 million. He's panicking, and he's going to end up settling. It sounds like 12 million in Dallas.
Tulski's gears in his head. Tulski's gears have got to be his like brain. He's probably got a computer brain. They're just grinding right now in Carolina until we see.
Made a great point before the show where what if Dallas and Colorado play each other in the playoffs now? That would be. I mean, they sent Rantanen as far east as possible, so they're not seeing him in the playoffs unless it's Stanley Cup final. And now, I mean, they could play him. That would be must-watch TV.
Hey, let's think about this, boys. Busy, TNT, Stanley Cup final, Chicklets, Stanley Cup final, Merles, every game, absolutely roasted, eyes red, tired, doesn't care. Tampa or Florida teams, both Florida teams, let's say that, Dallas final for the travel, for the sunshine, for the food, for the beach, for the, cowboy, everything. Like, oh my God. Can you see that now?
I could see myself in Tampa on that deck like we were for the Frozen Four. Remember that nice lunch out there?
Get us to hat tricks. What a spot.
You would hate that at Vegas, though, Merles. They've got to be in there. They've got to be sniffing, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, Vegas. Yeah, we're going to have the Vegas Insider come on later in about 50 minutes. If you want to set your watch to that, we'll do our Friday picks with him and go over the Vegas deal. And I assume they're going to have another deal by the time that happens. That's why we pushed him to the end. But just to announce, we got some other guys coming on. We're going to have Barstool Chief. We're going to have the Over King himself, Elio, Mr. Ice, come on. At 2:15, the Wit will be popping in, and then you're just going to have a plethora of guests coming through that door to your right there.
So I'm in here. Yeah, I'm in here. I invited all the boys. Everyone, Biz will be swinging by at some point too here during the extravaganza. Big 2 hours planned for you, Merles. You've been on the rundown. You've been grinding. You've been lining up guests on your side. I've got all these guys roped in at a glorious dinner last night. Oh, I got one right now. Should I bring them in?
Bring him in. Bring everybody in. It's an extravaganza. There's no rules here.
Here he is. Come on in, bud.
There's no rules.
Chris Weidman, absolute legendary NHL suitcase. Traded 3 times 1 year. Just trying to get him situated. Throw this in the ear.
I'm gonna put this in my ear.
Yeah. Get it in there.
Legendary tour guide for us in Montreal at the Four Nations.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
What's up? I don't think I laughed more in my life at a lunch than we did at Rubens that day when you popped in there. Incredible.
Right when he came in today. By the way, we're live on Chiclet's Trade Deadline Extravaganza.
All right.
He's a new TV guy, obviously. Flight delayed, missed the dinner last night, Merles. What a rookie move, but I get it. But he's in here. We're breaking it down. We just talked about his 3-team trade.
No.
What was
traded 3 times?
Oh, yeah. Traded 3 times.
Sorry. Waived. Sorry. Traded twice, then waived, then traded again.
Not bad. Not bad.
Great year.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, here we go. Sounds like Stankoven and 2 first-round picks. It sounds like the return on Rantanen from Jeff Merrick.
So what can they do now? Can they take those first rounders and flip them into something else, boys? We're talking about Rantanen. Like,
what I'm trying to figure out is, like, Carolina is good right now. Okay, so you get rid of Rantanen after you get rid of Natchez. Those first-round picks are worth nothing right now.
Yeah, right now. Season. Like, what is it to you? Like, look at Tampa Bay
now.
Yeah. I mean, you've watched your entire conference arm up and get ready to go here. How do you stack up against Florida now? How do you stack up against Tampa? Toronto just made a huge move. Buffalo has a bingo machine up there, and they're just pulling names out. Ottawa, kind of same deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, how does that make sense?
And yet, like, you just got to shell those first rounders out of there, right? If you're in go for it now mode, and you can't crumble. So they got some bullets in the gun now. They can start slinging. They're not done yet, boys. We are to 3 o'clock.
I heard Besser. Brock Besser was going to Carolina. Was one that they keep hearing about.
Can you imagine him trying to skate there and trying to wheel around doing man on man? Not the most fleet of foot guy. He'll even tell you that, but he can score goals. So maybe they're looking for something like that, but tough system play. In me talking about Carolina, it's fit. You got to get guys that can do that. Stankoven can do that. Stankoven can adapt. He's a hound. He gets on pucks. He's much like Jarvis, who they have there a little bit. Smaller guy, tenacious, hard on it. So he's got a good engine. He can fit and play that style. I'll be curious to see what they do moving forward with those picks that they got, though.
What they really need in Carolina is a new visitors dressing room.
The wind tunnel. My toupee is going for a ride down there.
It's unreal. In between periods, you got like 6 dudes lined up behind one urinal to take a piss in between periods. It's awful.
You'd probably sit down and pee like Biz and Wit on the pod, like the rest of them too, hey? At nighttime, I hear all the time at nighttime. Chris Weidman joining us.
Yep. So I just wanted to go while we got both of you here just over the deal that we did predict on our game notes preview last week. Yanni Gord going to Tampa with Bjorkstrand. They played their first game last night. Do you think they're done with just those guys, or is Tampa going to still make some moves?
I think they're done. I think those are guys that they just go get their guys. They just went and got their guys. I think they're sneakily one of the best teams this year in the league. Coop has his guys going. They've got guys with engines. They got the production. They got their core, and they just like melded some guys in and around it. Look at that Bjorkstrand the other night, game-winning goal. Welcome aboard, big boy. Just a guy that can score goals through his career. And
I think they made their big move in free agency, getting Gensel.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
oh yeah.
Right? Like that's a guy, like you said, production huge, but just the way he plays. He's been
We got Sammy Cosentino poking his head in now.
You got everybody. Look at this.
Photo
Arm
bomb.
dog.
Yeah, everyone wants to get in on the game notes extravaganza, bud.
Yeah.
This is a real thing here.
And then the next one I have up on my list, it's perfect. You're on here, Wides, is the newest one, the Senators, Norris and Bernard Docker for Cousins to Buffalo.
Oh, this is perfect for him.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's, you're bringing a really good player in Cousins, but I think, Army and I spoke about the impact that has on Brady Tkachuk, who was obviously very close with Josh Norris. And, I suspect that if these guys are not in the playoffs, Brady Tkachuk might be playing for a new team come training camp next year.
Yeah,
Thank
really.
You Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been saying it for 3 years now. He's out of there, Senators fans.
Well, I think it's it's not a knock against Sens fans, but it's more of just like, can we get Brady Tkachuk a platform to stand on and not be Matthew's younger brother, right? Like you saw his kind of a coming out party at the Four Nations. Like, I don't know if there was a more dominant player throughout that tournament. I mean, he made a huge statement, and I don't know if there's a team in the league that wouldn't take him right now.
Yeah, he's a power horse. He's a once in a lifetime style player. There he is. The Yans monster.
Yeah,
welcome Keith Yandle to Game Notes Extravaganza.
1 week.
Hey, do you hear that? Wide's teammates with Yans for 1 week.
Delay of game penalty. I think I shot that off the roof of the whatever the arena is called there in Sunrise now.
I saw him snapping it around on the power play in practice. I was like, hey, we got to get rid of this guy. I'd be out of a job.
It's perfect time for you to come on. The Loughton deal is the biggest deal going right now, too. He went to Toronto. I heard you on Chicklets talking all about him. Is that a great fit in Toronto? And are you joining Busy's bandwagon now that your buddy's up there in Toronto?
Well, first off, I don't know who Loughton is.
Okay. That's my thing here. I don't know anybody's how to pronounce anyone's name.
He doesn't know any names.
Lawton. And what I'm doing right now, getting an IV, injecting Leafs blue into my veins because I am all in with the Leafs now that they got Scotty Lawton.
All righty.
Oh, yeah, you love him, hey?
The best.
You love him. I know I heard you on Chicklets going on about him, about like the team guy is, how funny he is, how good of a player. Like he's going to help them. That's a good move for them in getting that guy. I know a lot of people were saying Braden Shen, but he's really versatile. He can wheel, he can produce, good PK guy. Like he can provide all that. They need that.
Yeah, I used to call him a mini Datsyuk, just the guy. His skill is out of control. And I remember the first week skating with him, I'm like, dude, you have all this skill. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not playing a more skilled game? He's like, they've just been beating it out of me for the last 7 years. So hopefully he can go into Toronto and, get some confidence. He's from that area. His wife's from that area. I think it's going to be an amazing fit because he can play up and down your lineup. Fourth line, first line, kind of whatever you need, and he's going to be a guy that will never complain about anything. He'll if he's on the fourth line, he's going to take pride in shutting down other teams' big lines, blocking shots. If he's on the first line, he's going to take pride in setting guys up, making good plays. But I think especially too with Chief there now too is a guy that they both have that Philly blood in them where what they're getting out of each other and I think he's going to be an amazing fit for them and really help them, get to where they need to be.
Yeah, I'll ask you, Wides, why we got you still here. Do you think that's it for Toronto? Are they going to have to make some more moves? We've talked enough about it. Florida's loaded up. Tampa just loaded up with those two guys. Is that enough for the Leafs to go for it, or are they going to do some more damage?
I think they need a D personally, but I do love the Lawton pickup. Like he's a dog, right? On the puck. That guy will chase you into the fucking stands to get popcorn if you go get it and if you have the puck, right? Like he doesn't care. And they need more of that. So love that pickup, but I think they need another D to stack up against the rest of the East. I mean, it's right now you look at what Florida and Tampa did, that set them kind of at the top. And then, you've got obviously other competitive teams, and we'll see what the Hurricanes do during the last couple hours here. But I think Toronto needs a bit more.
All right. Now, Jans, you're the Florida guy. I heard the nasty rumor. All four nations. Marchand was going to go to Florida, but the more we're hearing now is that he won't go to a rival. Any other thoughts on where he might end up if he is moved? Because G is panicking in the back.
Jans, doesn't it make sense for like Vegas, the bad guys, to come in and get the rat?
It really does. It would really play into the Vegas theme that we've seen the last few years. But I think with his injury and him being out right now, he looks great in the gold.
He does.
I really think that his injury is kind of scaring a couple teams right now with really pulling the trigger because, you look at what Brad Marchand can bring to a team. I'm sure that there'd be 31 other teams calling about him, but I think it's one of those things now. It's teams are a little worried about his health right now, and if he's going to be able to bring it, get ready for playoffs and be available. And I honestly think too that Boston might be asking for a little too much for him, for a guy that honestly I think that they should just re-sign and keep him there just because what he's done for that team and the city and being the captain, but. Yeah, it's I've been hearing some rumors that they're not close with the contract extensions, but I think if you look yourself in the mirror, you really got to think that he should stay there, and I think he's one of those guys that should finish his career there
if he wants to.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like if he wants to play competitive hockey the next couple of years, it's probably not going to be in Boston.
True.
The way it looks, and look at that division, right? Montreal is only going to get better. Ottawa thinks that they're getting better. I don't know.
Buffalo.
We'll see the trade. Buffalo is
Buffalo's getting relegated.
Rochester's coming in. They're bringing up Roch. What is going on?
But you look at it.
I would like to see Buffalo do something. I don't know. They got to just get everybody out. What are they doing re-signing those two guys?
I don't know. Maybe get them under contract and you can still move them. I mean, it's crazy. Like you got to maybe try to schling a bit here. Just start schlinging,
Yeah. But I mean, still, what do we got? An hour and 40 or 38 minutes left till it's over.
We have 4 more.
We're on
hours.
till 5 here, being wide. It's just locked and loaded. We're hovering over the food here in studio, just back and forth, grazing, just grazing.
I ate lunch at 9:30 a.m.
Oh God.
The 9:30 a.m. lunch dip for us here in studio already.
9:30 a.m. French dip.
I went to the bathroom. It was so dehydrated. I could go for one of those things you're getting right now, Jans.
Yeah,
are you getting an
IV or a body armor flash IV?
Oh, I could get a body armor flash IV, like
this
to the veins.
This chat is hilarious. They're chirping us for sitting so close.
Oh yeah, well we're making it work. We're making it work here, folks. This is what we do. It's extravaganza. Strap in, get ready, get your tie down on. We're rolling. Chris and Colby, get a little close. Libby.
Yes.
Hi, Libby.
Hey, Arm Dog. We got you here. Pittsburgh Penguin guy, Jans. Wide's offensive D-man.
You know what? I had a brief stint. with the Pens too. So don't forget about that.
I know that. You're alumni too.
And
I had a brief stint
to do.
I played with Carl for 4 years, and then he didn't come to training camp 1 year, so they traded him to
San Jose.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Merles is trying to get things going on him, and like, what could they do with him? That's got to be like a 5-way deal. You get that salary.
It's because of the salary. You got a high salary in different places.
They need the old Phoenix Coyotes taking his contract on, like the old Chris Pronger, Datsuk. Yeah, I don't know if something like that could happen. And I think Carl's played great the last couple or since Four Nations, but yeah, that one with the amount of money that he makes, I don't see that happen in the next hour and a half.
No, that's a tough one to get done. That takes time, boys, time. All right, you want to send Gadsy?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
thanks, guys.
Chris Wyden.
Thanks,
yeah, it's great to see you, buddy.
He loves it, dude. Hair looks amazing.
Thank you, Merles. Always a pleasure, bro.
Can't wait till next time I can have a meal with you again, buddy.
See you, boys.
Unbelievable. That guy is one of the biggest characters I've met in this sport. He's incredible.
He's doing great, getting his feet wet in the media. Got him on the game notes. Tracking on the internet. That's a whole nother world, isn't it, Jens?
Oh, Yeah, I have no idea about it. Wides has got a little Tony D in him too. Well, he'll let it fly. He'll say what he wants to say. It's nice.
He's so young. He came over. I'm like, who's this little like prep school kid that Whip brought over to lunch with us?
Good looking kid. Oh, I got a guy on coming on. Luke Gazdick, fastest goal ever in NHL history, working here with us. This would be. Can we talk about Jets, boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Gaz?
You can't get your bison head in there with Army at the same time.
My nose, his head. It's a battle.
Can I tell you a Merle story real quick?
Oh no,
I'm not like a huge.
Oh, there we go, Pasha. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, remember this is live. This is a live show, and Army's son is in the chat.
I'm not like a huge gambler, but I've tailed you 3 times now for European things. 0 for 3.
No. We're a little cold this year. It's not just you.
Sorry, Merle.
Not just you.
You wake up with that beatdown. There's nothing better than the Euro beatdown in the morning. No. Hey, Merman.
No,
I love it.
I actually just took a game right now. Anybody out there? Trinnic in the Czech League. They're in the playoffs. Started today. It's 1-1 halfway through the game. I just threw a little dough on them. I'm not checking for insider trades. I'm looking for bets right now.
Yeah, you'll get them. The chat will keep you updated on that score. Let's go, chat. Chat is absolutely buzzing. Trade deadline extravaganza. Luke Gazdick scored in his first shift, 14 seconds in on his first shot.
Fastest ever.
So how about that? You got the fastest NHL goal and you got the fastest Winter Classic goal. Holy.
Yeah.
What was yours?
21 seconds. You got me. Couldn't do it outdoors though.
After 4 years on Myers, I got picked up by the Oil, played Hockey Night in Canada in their home opener, and threw a shot on net 14 seconds in my first shift. Beat Mario 15 seconds.
Wow.
Whoa.
Took me like 60 games to get number 2, but I still live with number 1. It's great. Set face off play. Pavlik, Winnipeg.
Ondrej. Pavlik, my old teammate in the Thrashers, boys.
I was 1 assist shy the Gordy too. I fought Thorburn the next 2 shifts later.
He's tough. He's strong. Scrap. Big dude. All right. We want to talk Winnipeg.
Let's talk some Jets. Let's talk your guys' Jets then. They got the Tanev. They got the other Tanev brother going there, and they just got Luke Schenn for a 2nd and a 4th round pick. 2 good playoff style guys.
So we do a lot of Jets here. Like I feel like the 2 areas that they needed some help in, one was on their penalty kill. They struggled on the PK. If there's anywhere they struggled, now they get Turbo in there to go kill every single penalty they have.
And the human eraser.
Just be an absolute lunatic up the ice. Schenner helps on the back end. They needed someone in their probably 3rd pair. I don't think they love Logan Stanley. Like they need like a real big guy that's got experience and he plays a big guy game. Now they got Lowry and Schenner just throwing bombs on people. Like he can step in there and do that role and do that job. They needed a big defenseman that can play like that. They got some good puck movers, skaters on the back end for sure. They're big, they're tough. They're fast, they're well coached, and like it's not easy to go in there. They're hard to play against. They defend so well. I mean, if Helly stops the puck and they get some saves, man, like it's going to be a gauntlet in the Western Conference regardless, but that's going to be a tough team to beat in a 7-game series.
Gaz, I got a question for you. We were talking a little bit. What do you about the East and the West? What do you think will be harder to get out of the East or the West this year?
I think probably the West with the way, I mean, Florida and Tampa made their moves, but now that Winnipeg's loaded up, Colorado's loaded up, Vegas is still a monster. Dallas is stacked. And like, I know they haven't made a move yet, but Edmonton still has Draisaitl and McDavid. Like you still have to get through that. Right. I think the West
forget about them today.
What are they doing?
I know.
I can't believe the Oil haven't made a move yet, but I mean, you saw Connor and Leon almost win a Stanley Cup on their own last year. If Skins can save some pucks, I think the West is an absolute gauntlet, man. I just think whoever makes it out of there, they're just going to beat the heck out of each other. Like,
Jans, for 3 series. The West is a gauntlet, Jans, and then you're down in Florida, the Florida teams. Is that your strongest in the East? Washington, they don't get as much love. Like, I don't know, what's Washington going to look like?
Yeah, you just don't know with them. In Toronto, too. Like, Toronto, obviously, great team in playoffs. You know what I mean? It's not like they're one of those teams where you see, oh, God, we might get them 2nd round. Let's get the ice packs ready. But, you know, they're a team that could win any series, but I don't think they're going to physically beat down anyone where it's like, you know, taking their will away from them. So, yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards what you guys are all saying, and you know, first to admit when I'm wrong, and I thought the East was a little bit better, but I think you guys have persuaded me other ways. But which is good for my boys in the East. If the West just beats each other up, then any team that makes it to the finals from the East is going to win it.
Boys, the chat's absolutely eviscerated me because I forgot about the Wallman deal. Sorry. Sorry. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, Wallman. I like Wallman. Sorry, I forgot about him too.
They got Frederick and
Frederick
Wallman
the other day. Yeah.
Sorry,
piece and
boys.
pieces, but when you're
They're
talking
right. The
about...
chat's right once again.
Great alert.
Nico Rantanen to the Stars. 8-year extension in place. Kane's getting 2 first-rounders, 2 third-round picks. Open stank open. Plus they got Taylor Hall before as well. Add that in there, plus those picks and pieces.
You like Stank?
I like Stank.
You gotta get something.
Good Western boy. Stanky leg. Keeps it going. He's had good success.
Now, do they take those 2 first and flip them again today?
Yeah, that's what we were saying with Wide.
I think they need to do that. I think they need to do that to justify this whole mess of a thing. I would say you go for Elias Pettersson. You got to get something. He needs a change of scenery, obviously. Vancouver, take those first rounders and restart this whole thing.
Oh yeah, Pettersson, my God. Hey, how about on Wednesday night hockey? I was working here with this guy and we're chucking trades out, like Rumor Boys style on the air. Nails. Nelson to the Avs. Okay. Nailed it.
I mean, 1 for 1. You got to throw darts at a wall every now and then. It makes sense. I just know they didn't like Middlestat as their 2C. And I don't know. Throw a dart at a wall, see if it sticks, boys.
Great call. I think he's good. He's got lots left. Hey, boys, he can skate. He's big. He can score.
Too. Nate had an interview today. He was like, I know we have the same strength coach.
Okay, yeah.
He's all fired up.
Oh,
yeah, that was Brock Nelson for that Callum Ritchie. Everybody knows him. He's the one with that fake backhand move or whatever on the breakaway. I still don't even know how he does it.
Good OHL kid. Good Ontario guy.
In a first rounder, so the Islanders are going to have something there. I love it. I'm an Avalanche guy. They're a real threat now. Again, they're a threat to my Vegas future, but Nelson, he's got all those playoff games. He was on those teams that went to the Eastern Conference Finals back-to-back years. They go.
All right, Jans, are you getting worked on there, buds?
Is that one of Biz's Ty's massages there?
I wish.
Hey, Jans, thanks for coming on with us, though, buddy. Love the time. Just in your relaxing Zen stage right now. Just getting the IV
day.
Flash IV right there from Jans. Thanks, buddy. Trade
Thank you
Deadline
so much,
Extravaganza. Unreal to have him on.
We got the big dog in there, and we got another guy coming in. We got the Chicago Blackhawks insider, our best friend, Barstool Chief. Welcome to the Game Notes Extravaganza.
I'm happy to be here. It's not quite the same for not sharing a hotel room bed, though, I got to say.
Yeah, incredible episode. You guys might recall, Chief, he was in the bed with us on our Four Nations Championship preview where we all picked the USA and we were all wrong. But, Chief, we had to have you on because your team, they did a little work. They got rid of Seth Jones, and they brought in a goalie for you.
Love it. That was a big piece. They didn't have an answer there. They had Drew Comesso in the system, but they needed that linchpin that kind of just unlocks everything. I feel so much better about the rebuild post that trade. That $2.5 million that they're retaining means nothing with the cap going up and all the entry-level deals they're going to have. So great move by Kyle. Seth Jones was begging for a trade in the media for about a week. And then, they didn't let it leak that the only buyer, because it was down to Florida and Dallas said thanks, but no thanks. So Florida was the only team. They still got a first-round pick and a top-flight goalie prospect's only 23. So I love that trade. His debut was sensational. I'm not sure.
Oh my God,
Chief, 41 stops.
Your Twitter account was just like if it was a human being, you'd have to press charges. I mean, it was just ridiculous what you were saying about Knight.
Rocked up. Yeah. Locked and loaded.
Man. He's a stud.
Hey, they're playing much better hockey.
Yeah, and it was like welcome to Chicago at the same point. I saw some stat where like his last 3 wins in Florida, he had to have 18 stops. Come to Chicago, you're facing an onslaught here. The shot started like 11-0 for LA in that game, but still got the W. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with that trade.
for the Florida people out there, do you feel like you've seen Jones enough? Is he going to thrive down there now that he's on a winning team and he's not going to have as much responsibility, can play less minutes, can focus more in those minutes and just play a solid game?
Yeah, look, he has one glaring deficiency, which is kind of his mobility going backwards. He can't really gap up. So he uses his length to kind of usher guys wide, but the zone entries against him are kind of
he was not good, Chief, like the last little, like in Chicago.
But the team was horrible. I think he'll be better on a better team. And I always like Seth Jones. They got him to be like that Norris guy. And he's just not that. But if he's in your second pair, you're doing pretty well. Yeah, you guys need to scoot in a little closer, get cheek to cheek there.
Yeah, skating backwards is sometimes important as a defenseman in the
NBA. He just can't. He doesn't have that mobility. He can't gap up. I don't know what it is because he's a good athlete, but when you watch him in his transition D is just kind of a problem.
Buddy, and when he was in
Florida plays though.
Yeah. He's going to be aggressive.
Neutral, they're so aggressive. He's going to have to get the boots going.
Yeah. And how about him? Like forever and doing this job and watching him in Columbus, I was like, they're going to rename this. This is before Makar came on the scene. They're going to rename this Norris Trophy after this kid. The minutes he logged, the games he had, the production he could provide, the matchups. Like he was like that prototypical big dog defenseman. I think there's still some there. I don't think the team was that good. Obviously, I think he'll thrive in their system and the way they play.
That's generous saying the team wasn't that good.
Yeah,
the team's been
very generous.
Absolutely horrible. So I think he'll do a lot better, and he'll have Bob, behind him again. And coming from Columbus, he was paired with Zach Werenski. I think that matters too. So you put him with Forsling or whoever, and I think he's in a much better spot.
Yeah, so that deal's done. The other big name out of Chicago, Ryan Donato. Some are saying re-sign him, some are trade him. You'll get something important. Teams need a guy that can score goals. What's your thoughts on him?
I really like Ryan Donato. He's having a career year. I was told that they offered him 3 years and 3.5 a year, which he turned down, which I don't blame him. And Kyle Davidson gave Anthony Ciu 4.25. Foligno's over 4. They got a lot of. They've been throwing money around. So you have a guy having a career year, and it's like, we'll give you 3.25. Like, beat it.
You got to get guys to come play there. Unfortunately, with the way it is,
I agree with that too. So it is. You have a guy he's about to be 29, but still has good hockey in front of him, and he's playing a lot of top 6 minutes now. But he's a guy who you can slide down your lineup, hopefully, as you get better players in there and some of these young guys in.
Did you hear today too? Patty Maroon interviewed after too, and they're talking about Donato, and he said, "Why don't we sign him? Why wouldn't you re-sign him?
Give guys there." 4. Yeah, I mean, like the cap's going up, and everybody that's important to them right now is basically on an entry-level deal. So
we saw him Wednesday night. We did the Wednesday night hockey game versus the Sens. Like he buzzes, and I read something. It's like this might be as high as his value will ever be, but. Don't you need some players there too? Like you got to start building out and like at least having some guys there.
Yeah, he works hard. He's smart. He's had some chemistry this year. One of the only guys that have good chemistry with Bedard. So I'm fine either way. I mean, people are throwing around first round picks like they're fucking candy. So if you get a first for Ryan Donato, then I guess do it. But give him 3 by 4 5 or something. See if you can get him in the door because you're right. Like you can't have everybody under 23, which they've signed some veterans the last several years. Foligno, Perry, like I said,
those guys were like 30 some, like this
they're not helping
real
veterans.
He's 28. He's 28.
Exactly. To me, it's a win-win for Davidson here. If you get him in and he signs, he's part of this like transition phase as you're trying to hopefully get better in the next 3 years. But if you get a pick for him and you can launch that pick at at a big deal on draft day or something like that, or you have more ammo for potential offer sheets, which that was the most devastating news for Chicago, that it looks like Rantanen is signing long term. It's just like big time players that they've been hoarding this cap space for. There's just nobody available. So I bet you Marner probably re-signs eventually too, and then it's like it's slim picking. So you're going to need,
and all these guys too, like. All these guys have no move clauses and like limited. So they give their list. Do you think Chicago's on any of these guys' list that you're like talking about?
I mean, you don't have not a lot of talent, virtually no talent right now. They're going to have a coaching change. I don't think the culture is known as being particularly strong in Chicago. So it's one of the greatest cities in the world, original six, but you're looking at a long runway before you're playing competitive hockey again, most likely.
Chief, do you think they need like an old school guy in there or someone kind of hybrid new school coach kind of thing? Like,
I want a hard ass. I do. I know people have been talking about the DU coach. I want like a retread who's proven it that he can do it. Maybe not him, but it's crazy. It'll never happen, but it does feel like the perfect guy would be Joel, like a guy like Quenneville.
Can you imagine? No.
It will never happen. It will never happen. But I would love a guy who has 600 NHL wins or 500 NHL wins and walks into the room and has a presence that everybody has to get in line. Like, hey, this is how we're playing, and is not afraid to
a hammer standard of accountability, like
exactly.
Culture guy, like he lasts 3-4 years and that's it, but he straightens it out.
Correct. That's what
Michelle Therrien. So Michelle Therrien.
I'm steering away from Babcock and Therrien, but some traits that are similar to those guys, we'll say.
Like Todd McClellan, who just got picked up.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah. So, or like I wanted Monty. I've wanted Monty for years. So when he got fired by Boston, it sounds like the St. Louis thing was already in the works when that happened. But that is another guy who's been a pro. He's won everywhere. That would have been another guy that, that type of a coach. I know he's not as experienced as some of the other names that we've listed, but he would have been perfect too. But that to me is sneaky. The biggest decision of the offseason is who is going to come in here and like really try to right this ship, because it wasn't Luke Richardson for whatever reason. It's not going to be Anders going forward. They need a real guy, and they're going to have, I don't know, maybe 5 rookies on the team next year, depending on how at various points. So they're going to need a guy who can really set the culture and the tone, because the guys that they've signed, nothing against Foligno. I really like Foligno. He does and says all the right things, but I mean, you guys probably speak to this better than me, obviously. I think it's hard to build a culture with these mercenaries on 1- and 2-year deals that are at the end of their rope. But it's like, oh, this guy's not going to be here when we're good anyway. So you need like somebody has authority, who's like, hey, I have a 4-year deal here. I'm the coach, and everybody better get in line. Stop playing, as Biz would say, pond hockey.
This is a good year for the trade deadline too.
It's getting tougher now. Like everybody's signing these 8x8s everywhere. So as these years keep going and this keeps happening, there's going to be no free agents left for teams like Chicago to get. So they're going to have to build through the
great
draft.
thing though about this year, Mur, the good thing about this year is look at the East. It's a log jam. Like it is slammed. So now you get some movement, some teams, they're making some moves. I think that Jones, that Chicago one was really big. And I think
I'm hoping that
it starts to get the ball moving though. And all these teams are like, can we win? Are we good enough? Are we sellers? And they started to get everything kind of going right now. And so you got enough teams that think that they can make moves in the East and the West. And it's like, now it's kind of like an arms race a little bit. What's going on?
Well, that's how Wallman gets you a 1st-round pick somehow, because how does that happen? So that's what I mean. If Wallman's worth of 1, you would think Donato's got to be worth of 1, but maybe they waited too long and all the ones for the contending teams are gone.
It's still Chicago, man. It's still the Hawks. Players are still going to want to go play there.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Things around, it's still Chi-Town. Players still love that city.
Did you see these stats going around Twitter about Vegas and Tampa Bay with their 1st-round picks? The last 7-8 years that they don't have anybody even close to being on the roster. They traded them all away. Yeah. So that's kind of the way it's going now. These successful teams, they don't even care about let alone the 4th and 3rd round. They don't even care about their 1st-round pick anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you're picking 32, who cares? Right? So
I just finding out Army was a 1st-rounder.
Yeah, and you look at Gensel. I think he's a 2nd-rounder. Like, you get some of these guys. Some of these guys can pop. So
and you never saw Army start to fame and media fame when we were followed around by what was that show called?
Chasing the Dream.
This body's worth $1 million.
Little McDonald's mud gut on the kid. How's she going?
Okay, enough, boys. Thanks for having me.
Here we go. We're going back to work.
All right, get back to work, guys. Thanks for coming by. Fastest goal in NHL history. I did not know that.
Me neither. He
Great
threw it on the
stat.
show today.
You guys look
Nice.
great with the suits today. I gotta say,
Yeah,
a little
we're
left
styled.
out.
It's
The
extravaganza.
chat's
battle.
all over me about my single knot. Somehow I never learned how to do the double
Windsor?
Windsor like you, Army.
Yeah, you just go on YouTube, buddy. Like, just dial it
Yeah, literally everything's on YouTube. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
learn
I
anything.
don't got
on
time.
YouTube.
So,
I don't got
boys,
time for that.
I don't know if this guy's ready to come on. I'd love to have him on before I gotta go. Army first round pick. Yeah, I love that. I don't know if we have time, if he's ready to go or not. Remember that guy I talked about last week, Merles? Remember the guy?
the
He's
guy
like
that's
the
making all
ghost.
these big deals for us?
Oh, here he is.
Wait 1 sec.
This guy he makes every big deal. Years back, a ghost of the NHL, coming up with trades, creativity. This guy is used all over the league in the shadows. No one knew about him till I met him last week and agreed to come on. Welcome.
What's up, trade boys?
What's going on? What are you working on?
Oh, just Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. I don't know if you saw the tweet.
Oh, really?
He had a big long talk with Bill Guerin today.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, you sure it wasn't
Actually,
about the
bro,
Olympics?
What's that?
Are you sure it wasn't about the Olympics or anything?
No.
So how do you
Big memes.
operate? How do you do this?
Well, I'm just on my phone. Like Elliot basically tweets me and sends me DMs all day, every day. Bob McKenzie. Most guys grew up having like Wayne Gretzky posters on their wall. I had the Friedman.
You got something for him, Merles?
Yeah, Memesy, I just wanted to ask you if there's any more traction on the Tkachuk brothers trade. Anything going to happen today to help move in place both Tkachuk brothers? Where were they going, to Toronto?
The league's not ready for that trade yet. That's a couple years down, but I'm hearing Brady, he may get flipped. O'Reilly may go to the Devils, and they're going to flip for Brady.
Did you build that for them?
I threw it out there to Fitzy, but
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You must just be tired, working the phones all the time right now.
Lost my wife, lost the kids.
Yeah. What's the biggest trade you've ever orchestrated or put together for a team? Like looking back in history. Here's your.
Oh, yeah. There's the tweet right there.
Injured Canucks captain Hughes, who skated an hour ago, isn't skating for the Canucks. Hughes had a long talk with USA Hockey GM Bill Guerin at the end of Minnesota Wild practice yesterday. Wow.
Print the Wild jerseys.
Rumor boys. Patrick Demko did not practice. He's been on our trade board.
He's gone.
Speaking of goalies, Memes, you're the Red Wings guy, always in the talks for a goaltender. Trade deadline. Gibson's out there. Demko, you hearing anything?
I like Gibber. Demko's going to get injured again. Like he's the Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Gibson got hurt too the other night. I don't know how serious that one was. To check and maybe help us out there. But any other moves for the Red Wings you see coming?
I think Tarasenko, he's on the move. I've heard Petey to the Wings too. Get him in with all the Swedes.
I like that.
I think Tarasenko's not having that big of a year. Kind of just switch sceneries for both of them.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. I like that, Memesy.
Wow, I can't believe all the trades you orchestrated. Did you do my trade? Did you orchestrate that massive?
I knew you were in Target. I was like, get him.
Yeah, I was taking a dump in Target. Yeah. Wow, you are. Oh my God, you're despicable.
My favorite trade though was Tuukka to Boston, just to get the Leafs in shambles.
Yes,
forever. I was like, you want to trade this guy? He's got 5 O's or 2 U's. You don't need him.
You orchestrated that bad boy.
Boston, and then Leafs haven't had a good goalie since.
All right, boys, I got to step away for a bit, man.
Yeah, all right. I'll let you go. Memesy will let you go. I want to bring in G. I want to bring in G quickly because I just got an incredible text.
Oh, what kind? How incredible! Incredible for you or incredible for me?
Marchand to Vegas is what we're hearing still. Still hearing this.
Oh my God. Why are you doing this to me?
A different source now.
Why?
I would love that for my Vegas futures. And I mean, I hope Migsy will be on later to talk some more about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Merles, now as I think about it, I did take that Vegas future with you when you told us to take it at the beginning of the season. So I guess there's a little light at the end of the tunnel if it is Vegas, but everyone keeps saying Vegas makes so much sense. And like, yeah, from a roster standpoint, it does. But what do the Bruins need? Picks and prospects. What does Vegas have? None of picks and prospects. So I don't know what Vegas could possibly put together to, I mean,
they give like a week stay for Sweeney at one of the resorts, and then
after he loses his job this summer, he's going to need a place to stay. So they'll let him fucking go out there to the casinos. But I'm freaking out here. It's tough for me to even process a straight thought with Marchand being on the trade market, especially now that you're saying Vegas, because we were hearing, I think, Utah before. I think there's been a few teams thrown around. So who knows? Like, I mean, LA. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that have been thrown around at this point. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It's interesting. Anybody's going to love it. Like, I hope he goes somewhere and see him in the playoffs. He's a great guy to have in the playoffs. You know, he's going to get up to no good. So I hope he does go somewhere, but then I want him to sign back in Boston at the end of the season.
So I always rip on people for saying that, like, oh, that never happens. Like, isn't like Mark Recchi like the only dude to do that? Like, it doesn't.
What I always think of.
It doesn't happen. Guys never do that. But Brad Marchand, he's like that's something I could see him doing. But at the same time, from everything we're hearing, is Brad Marchand doesn't want to be dealt. He came out to the media originally too and said, he has no interest in being dealt to a contender just to go on a cup run. He wants to stay in Boston. His family's from Boston. His kids are getting older. He has a son who's a bit older. Like I just, those things play into it. And at what, 36, 37 years old, I just don't see him wanting to, and he said it, he doesn't want to leave the city. So yeah, I don't know what happens here.
Yeah, it's definitely something nobody really thinks about. When these guys are older, they do have kids, school age, youth hockey age. I know we've picked this life, but
how much do wives play into it, Merle? Like, how much?
The wives, they don't want to move. They got everything set up. Some of the wives are working a job, and everything is just perfect there. So that stuff it does definitely go into the thought process of these players. I mean, I thought about it places I was signing, just in Europe and Asia, wherever I was going, if it's going to be all right for my wife. And then I went with my buddy Caldwell. Is it going to be good for like hospitals for the kids and doctors and school and all that? It's a lot to think about.
But everyone keeps talking about how how the dark days ahead for the Bruins. It's a dark future ahead. I just don't necessarily believe that. Like, the Bruins always spend money in free agency. It's a desirable place to play. They have Pasternak. They have Swayman. They have McAvoy. Like they
have Zacha. Don't forget Zacha. Big piece.
Zacha's looked great this year, Pasha. You can't even say that. He's getting paid $4 million. Like, Pavel Zacha has been fantastic. If you can flip Zacha right now and go get a couple first-round picks, I would do it. Look at the market right now. Like Chief said, Jake Wallman just got a first-round pick. Pavel Zacha is probably getting you more than that. So, I mean, I think the future is brighter than people are saying. I probably need a Bruins disclaimer right now.
You sound like Pasha a couple of years ago. But it did work out. They did end up all right. Oh,
there he is. There he is.
We got action, boys. Hey, apparently Winnipeg's not done either. I think there's a chicken dick's chance that Braden Shen actually goes there. And
wow.
Rumor might be Cole Perfetti going the other way. You think about St. Louis and that young core group they got, that would make the most sense. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's an arms race right now with the Rantanen move, boys. If Winnipeg, listen, you got Scheifele, Hellebuck, and that aging core. Now is your time. And you got term with Braden Shen. They got to make a move. And if Perfetti's the guy, and that's why I think they ended up picking up Tanev. What an insurance policy that is for Tanev, because he could play second line if you need him. And or he could, he will play fourth line, but I think he can bring that energy. So holy fuck, we got action.
Biz, so I got a question.
Brothers together, but it would be Winnipeg. Not
why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I got all the Bash Bros.
Yeah.
Biz, the Leafs made two major additions today. One, Scott Lawton. Two, Keith Yandle. Keith Yandle has joined the Leafs bandwagon.
Wow. Hey, an honor to have him on board. Shocked by that, especially with the fact that the Big Deal Selects and the Boston Stranglers will be meeting. I don't know if it's completely official that the next Chicklets Cup's going to be in Boston, but nice to have him on board. But Scott Lawton, the biggest thing for the Leafs, Matthews, they've been riding him hard. Seems like he's still a little bit banged up. I'm not so concerned with winning that top spot in the Atlantic because I don't know if it's a probability given how good Florida is and what they picked up. But at least you got strength through the middle, and you just need to get Austin a little bit of rest. He has to be 100% going into playoffs. And if you have him, JT, in the way that he's played this year, including last year's playoffs, and then Scott Lawton as a third, I think that, hey, listen, if they meet Tampa in the first round, it's going to be a hell of a series. We know it's going 6 or 7. If they meet Florida, well, then you're going for the head of the snake right away, and at least they can combat against that Barkov, Bennett, and Lundell. Like I'm not saying that they're the equivalent to that. And do I think that Florida has a better overall roster? Absolutely. But if you're playing at the top of your game and Berube sprinkles in all of his systems and it's all hands on deck, you would have had to have played him at some point anyway.
Let me ask you, Biz, the Leafs jock sniffer. I think it was Gaz or Wise. I can't remember. Is the Lawton the only deal? They thought they still need a D-man. Or you got anybody on your wish list still?
I was praying that they were going to figure out a way to bring Ristolainen along with Lawton, just to address that number 3-4 slot. But if they don't do anything else, am I over the moon about what they did at the deadline? No, but they're in cap hell, right? They don't have many options with their cap situation. So I would say that majority of Leafs fans are okay with bringing in Lawton. I would put, from a roster standpoint, I think it would be safe to say that most people agree that the Leafs are the second, if not third, best roster going into playoffs when fully healthy.
I think people were saying too, Ristolainen, it's costing a first, that the price was just exponential. It's costing a first at least, and then plus some, which I don't necessarily know if he's worth all that.
For who? Sorry,
for Ristolainen there.
Yeah, the price tag for D-man is gross. I think that if you could get him a lot cheaper, I think that I wouldn't mind that Jamie Alexiak. You just need big fucking bodies, man. Look at Florida; their back end's enormous. So if you can get a big body like that, I mean, I don't know if they already have that side covered as far as what hand he shoots. But at this point, it's just getting big bodies. Boys, I have Canes fans. The bottom barrel of Canes fans might be the worst of the bunch. Now, listen, people are like, "Oh, you guys are bringing an ECHL team to our state. You think we're going to support your team when you've been insulting our franchise?" I haven't insulted your franchise. I just simply said that Rantanen's not going to sign there, and I thought it was insane making that trade, not knowing that you were going to lock him in. That's craziness. And as they've said on the panel, they lost both trades. Both trades.
You were ahead of it too. You were the first one to say it.
You said he's not going to be the same without McKinnon. I remember it.
It's not even that. It's the fact that he'd never been there. You don't know if his wife's going to like it. You don't know what's going to happen. The Army's been harping it from everywhere, saying that they play a different system. It's not the easiest to get adjusted and acclimated to. I think that he's going to fit in perfect with Rupe Hintz as a guy who can drive a line. He can bring the puck to the neutral zone and then just get it to him in his little bubble, and he's going to win wall battles and eat pucks below the goal line. And then you got that nasty release. So hell of a job by Dallas. They got bigger. Probably sucks to see Stankhoven go. But I think he fits in perfect in Carolina. That's exactly the type of player that Carolina likes. And I think that they probably felt a lot of pressure with all the media just harping on they don't have that superstar. They don't have that superstar to get them over the edge. So they probably felt pressure to make that deal, much like they did with the Gensel one. But I think that Carolina just needs to stick to their formula, and eventually maybe they can hoist a Stanley Cup. You need guys on good deals, all hands on deck, 4 lines coming at you, and rely hopefully on good goaltending. It was goaltending that fucked them on the last time. When they played against the Rangers, it was just like Anderson let a couple squeakers in. So I'm not insulting Carolina, the fan base, or the city. I think it's an incredible place to play. I didn't think he was going to end up there, and he didn't. And I was right. Just take your L.
Biz, I gotta ask. You were texting me last night. I thought you were fucking with me. You ruined my night last night. I barely slept a minute. You texted me that Marchand's getting traded. What are you hearing? What are you hearing right now?
That wasn't me who started. That was Army that texted that. And
Get it out! Get it out! Get it out!
Way. That's actually not a bad AI generated photo. I don't like that's not happening. The rumor is the deadline bandits would get him. That was the rumor.
But
now,
they don't have any first round picks. Like, how can they do this?
That's picking up heat. I'm catching heat I'm getting some heat on my phone. Marchand to Vegas.
If you think George McPhee and McCrimmon, Pinky in the Brain, watch that Rantanen deal go down, and they're not finding out a way to bring in Brad Marchand to help not only with the locker room, which it doesn't need help, but it's just one more character add and a guy that is experienced come clutch.
Holy shit, boys. We got breaking news. Breaking news.
Alert.
Oh my God.
Charlie Coyle from the Boston Bruins to the Colorado Avalanche.
Buddy, Colorado, Dallas first round. Colorado, Dallas first round. Can you imagine?
Who do you think's going back?
Hey, I got to swap out. I'm going back. I got a little treat for you boys, though.
Yeah, maybe Middlestead going back. That's their third line center, Coyle.
Middlestead going back.
I mean, that's a hell of a 1-2-3 punch, baby.
Wow.
They gave Colorado already traded Callum Ritchie today, right? So their top prospect is gone. Colorado was one of those teams last night. I spent half the night studying their prospects. So I think they had the 24th ranked prospect pool in the NHL. This worries me a lot right now. Unless you're getting back some first round picks, I'm worried, boys. I'm very worried.
Yeah. What about that D? They got that righty D. He played at Cornell. He kind of looks like Makar. He would be a nice guy for you guys to get back. He kind of plays like, what's his name there too?
Come on.
What's his name? What's the guy in Colorado? He looks like Makar. He's a righty. Played at Cornell.
What's his name? Yeah, it's a weird name. You
got to keep saying Mancini, but that's the guy from the Rangers that went to Vancouver.
I'm googling it.
So anyway, that was Biz.
Casey
that was
Middlestead.
Biz. Thank you, and I'd read more than all of us. It's BetterHelp. Game Notes is sponsored by BetterHelp today. Think about your favorite leaders, mentors, and idols. They don't have all the answers, but they do know when to ask questions or seek support from their community. In a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. Therapy can be a source of support for any area of your life. It's time to shift the focus from doing it all to knowing that we're better when we ask for help. Always got to ask for help, G. When you're down like this, just get it out, talk about it. It always feels better than leaving it in there. BetterHelp
is blowing up right now.
BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/chickletsgame today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chickletsgame. G, give them a call.
Yeah,
I could use Casey Middlestead. They're saying Casey Middlestead going back to Boston for Charlie Coyle.
I like that. That's Charlie Coyle. We've always said is a third line Stanley Cup centerman. He wasn't first or second line like they had him in Boston, but he's perfect third line, 15 minutes a game, PK, score a big goal for you.
Okay, hold on. Gee, where are you right now with what's going on with Marchand hanging and blowing in the wind? Right now, I don't mind getting rid of Coyle. I don't mind that. You get Middlestead back. Not great, but where are you?
I'm at more involved. Like Elliot just said, it's Casey Middlestead and there's more involved. Okay, so it sounds like Middlestead, Zellers in a second are going back to Boston. For Coyle,
He's not a Bruin. He's not a big bad Bruins type of player, Middlestead.
My gosh.
No.
But he look good. He might look good with pasta. Left-handed, feeding pasta.
I think I'm having a panic attack.
You are. You're freaking out. The kids nowadays call it a crash out, I think.
I think I'm crashing out. I think I'm crashing out as we speak.
I would take Middlestead for Coyle. No, you don't think that? That's a better second line center?
I mean, he couldn't
More,
be the
way
second
more
line.
skill, way better on the power play.
I guess he's probably more of an
Younger?
Eastern Conference player, don't you think, Merles? Like the big bad West. Like I get why it didn't work in Colorado, but like I remember when he was sent over there last year, everyone thought it was going to be a home run deal for the Avalanche and that he was going to be great there, a perfect second line center. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't hate it. I mean, if you play the kid with David Pastrnak, like who knows what could happen? Maybe playing with Brad Marchand. But yeah, I guess it's tough right now it's tough. I guess I really don't know what to think. I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, you're in complete shock, but we do have another guy from Boston that maybe can talk about these moves the Bruins have made for us here.
Who are we getting?
Iceman.
Iceman.
How we feeling? What an entry. The slide in with the chair. Unbelievable. We're under an hour, boys. We're under an hour to the deadline. G's crashing out. Colorado continues to rebuild. We got action. Rantanen now traded again to the Dallas Stars. Nelson to Colorado. Like there's some big names, some big movement. Lawton to the Leafs. Like the Jets have gotten some guys for depth. Iceman, what are you seeing?
Let me ask you a question. I need an answer. Mikko Rantanen, okay? How did this guy get traded to Carolina without him knowing? How is that possible that he didn't know he was going to get traded and he's a free agent? They have to sign him with all the stuff they sent over to Colorado. How do they don't have that deal already in place? How is that possible?
That's your old team, the Carolina Hurricanes. That's when I think you first jumped on the scene when a futures pick was them. But I think it's the GM. The GM was he's more of a stats guy. He's an analytic guy turned GM, not really a hockey guy. He thought he could turn him. He thought he was going to go there and have the same success, and none of it happened.
And you know what? Biz was completely right. That you play in Carolina, it's a different breed over there. I mean, they're up and down the ice, defensive hockey. They don't score in the playoffs. So that you would think a guy like that might be able to score some goals. But I mean, that guy's got you playing crazy all game long.
Yeah, it didn't work. I watched their game. Who were they playing? Calgary the other night. I needed them on the puck line, and they had a ton of power plays. And Rantanen, of course, is in his spot, but that's where Aho always was. And now Aho was flipped over on the other flank, and he was just completely lost over there. The power play was atrocious. It just did not fit in any way.
They get 53 shots and 2 goals a game. Or 3. They usually win 3-2, but they don't score.
I mean, amazing, right? Amazing what is transpiring right now. I see in the chat, someone's talking about Steve Yzerman in Detroit. I know you made a life or death trip out to Detroit, Iceman. You went hunting for goals. I'll never forget it, ripping your shirt off in the stands in Detroit. What's Stevie Weimerls like? What are they gonna do? Because they're in the hunt right now.
They're in the hunt,
and I'm like, we need some fresh blood in there. If the Bruins are sliding out, we've got new teams and fresh blood coming in. Can the Ottawa Senators be that team? Big trade they made, but what's Detroit looking like, Merles? You're a Detroit guy.
Yeah. I also, you got to think if you do get the 8th seed, Washington is ripe for the taking.
Absolutely.
They are not some wagon of a team that you're not going to be able to upset. Detroit, the goaltending. I still don't trust their goaltenders. Mr. Ice, you probably know. You've probably taken a few of their overs. They got to get a goalie. They got to get that Gibson. If he's not hurt that bad, they need the big time goalie with the experience that we can bet on. We can bet on the wings.
You've always heard Detroit's got this power, all these prospects, all these guys. You got to start using them. We got to get some veteran guys, a veteran defenseman, a goalie. You're just about to make the playoffs. The 8th seed, the 7th seed is ripe for the taking. All you got to do win. What I say is if you win 5 in a row, you're going to be in. No team can do that. From 7 and 8, I feel like none of those teams can win 3 or 4 in a row. If you do that, I feel like you get in. You got to make some moves right now.
And I want to hear a hot take from me, boys?
Yes.
Washington, hell of a year. Strong. Deep. They're getting it from everyone. Ovi, goal chase. For the record, Gretzky, he's hunting. He's there. He gets the record this year. The team emotionally explodes. They head into the playoffs and they deflate. And that's what it's going to look like. And a lot of people might say, no, their goaltending's been an amazing story.
Yes.
Both guys, amazing. Amazing. And something's going to happen. We've seen it. Tampa Bay did it. Columbus tackled them. We've seen Bruins. They dropped out. It's like one of those things, right? Is that what that's what I think might happen. I think it might happen. And what have they been? What did they get? What have they done today too? Which I don't think maybe the best thing you could do on deadline day is not do anything at all. That old saying, the best trade is a trade you never make. They went and got Anthony Beauvillier for a 2nd-round pick. I think that's all they've done in regards to anything.
Was that the Pittsburgh kid?
The Pittsburgh kid, yep.
Yeah,
So,
we talked about that last week. Maybe they're the type of team that should just leave it alone because they are winning on their vibes and everything. And
they got a great vibe.
Yeah, you don't want to mess too much with something that good. Mr. Ice, you're back. You've been on a great winning streak. Nothing like our guy Big Cat's winning streak. I don't want to talk too much about that, but that's pretty amazing what he's doing over there.
Unbelievable. That is and I didn't catch it until like 6 or 7.
That's when I did same. And then I kept falling asleep. He was taking these late night basketball games. And then I was so afraid. I'm like, oh, like 7. I think I got in at 7. Oh, I'm going to take it and ruin this. I can never tell anybody. But I've gone 3-0 with him, so it's pretty amazing. You're back. You got anything for us tonight?
No, nothing tonight. We were talking about futures, though.
Okay.
The big thing about futures. Remember? No, I don't have anything huge right now. But remember, futures 5 or 6 years ago, you had to pick it before the year or during like mid-season. Now you can pick it all the way up to the playoffs. And I just think the value right now is to go a little bit later, not to do it right now, just because the guy gets hurt, it changes the whole outlook.
Here he is, boys.
Talking about futures right here. The future, I don't know what, liquor magnet. What do you call those people?
Not in Canada. Pink Whitney's out of Canada because of those fucking dumb tariffs.
Ryan Whitney, welcome to the Game Notes Extravaganza, the Wit Dog. What's up?
What's up, guys? I just came on here to watch Grinnelli cry like a little
Oh my
bitch.
God. Have you seen him? Him?
This guy thought the Bruins are going to be good this year.
Let me say this.
I can't wait till Marchand gets traded the next 50 minutes right in your face.
Let me say this. I'm coming around. I'm coming around on this Charlie Coyle trade. It sounds like they got Will Zellers. He's going to North Dakota last year, 3rd-round draft pick of the Avalanche. He's averaging a goal a game in the USHL, 115 points. I'm trying. I'm grasping at it right now.
USHL, Elio. That'll do it.
Hey, listen, Coyle he's good on. I think like he'll do well in Colorado, but in Boston, what has he done? I mean,
but he's the perfect. They got McKinnon.
Pasha, pull up their lines. Pull up the lines.
Colorado now.
Whoa. McKinnon. Drury too. Don't forget about him. He's good down there, right down the middle. Now they're in the perfect spots.
That's the best team in the NHL.
I almost would rather him play
wing
shit with Coyle or Nelson, and then just figure out like Kiviranta. I don't know. I think Drury's awesome. The Avalanche now.
Think what they did this year. They did both goalies this year.
Yep.
They got Lindgren and VC just a little while ago. And then now they're just going to work now with Nelson.
They might be the winners right now. They might be the big dogs right now. And Dallas gets Rantanen.
They're saying in the chat, pull up Dallas. Pull up Dallas now.
Dallas. Let's look at Dallas. Let's see Dallas if Pasha can pull that up.
And give him,
you know
why he's doing.
Colorado got depth. They didn't have any depth. Remember last year?
Yeah,
it was like,
you're right. It was
they
have it. 6. That's it. Yeah.
How about Makar last night? 6 points.
What's up with
those guys
too? Is Landeskog coming back?
He's doing a documentary on his journey right now. Did you see that? Documenting
Marchand to get traded so bad right now. Like I need it. If I was Pastrnak, I'd be banging on Don Sweeney to get me out of this dump. Get me out of this disgrace of a team.
Look at this.
I'm getting called. I got Wides calling me to step.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't want to see him for a year after Montreal.
What's up, Whit? You crazy
What's
bastard.
Up, Why'd you breaking any deals over there?
Not a single one.
We got one right now.
John does my legal work. I can't even get him to give me a cookie.
I should have had that name.
Great call, Merles.
Peter Mrazek and Craig Smith to the Let's Go Red Wings in exchange for Joe Velino. That's a great move. I don't know why I didn't have him on my trade board for goaltending. He's awesome, Mrazek. When I bet against the Blackhawks, he always stands on his head.
Yeah, last year he did it the whole year.
Yeah.
Last year he was sick, and then he was having an off year this season. But still, I think what's he make though? Doesn't he make like 4?
You guys were talking on Chicklets last week, 4.5 maybe or something. It was going to be hard to find, but the Wings can make it work. They got all young guys. They should have no problem there, right?
I cannot believe that Colorado or Dallas is going home in the first round.
Spending all this money and assets. This is sick.
Assuming, right? Like right now, where is Minnie the third team? And I got to pull up the up-to-date standings here.
I might have to just do that as the Chicklets decathlon, is that series instead of the finals.
So Minnie's at 70. Minnie's at 76 points. They're tied with Colorado, but they have a game in hand. So Colorado's they're gonna take that over. And then I guess, Dallas maybe could catch Winnipeg. They got a game in hand. They're 6 points back. Talk about a race to win the division.
And now here's the Dallas lineup. That you got Wyatt Johnson as a third line center. You kidding me?
My God.
Guy's first line center on half the teams in the league.
I still don't love their right side, man. On D.
There's D.
Like, is Sagan coming back or no?
I don't. I actually, Biz had said he thought so. He thought he heard him. I thought originally it was like would be. I think Biz said it would be like second round.
Oh,
right around there.
Yeah, that's going to be some hell of a series. Mr. Ice, tell us a little bit about IceCon coming up in a couple of weeks before we let you go.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Excited. Thank you. Excited about it. March 29th. We already have more than we have from last year. We haven't really even advertised it yet, but we're going to be in Nashville. We're going to also, the Barstool Bar is there. So it's 3 blocks from the stadium. We'll have some beers and hopefully a lot of goals that day.
Yeah, I love it. Nashville, it's a great little spot. You're all be walking distance, the arena, our little Mexican restaurant with the 10,000 different bars. You guys are going to have a time.
Who do they play, Elio, that game?
Vegas.
Oh,
God.
We're going
to need a 5.5. We're going to need a 5.5 line that game.
It might be 4.5 by then with Nashville, right? Well, thanks, guys. Good luck.
Yeah,
no problem.
Trade Marchand. Get rid of them all.
Yeah,
Mark. No.
Perfect segue. We're talking Marchand. We're talking Vegas coming into the IceCon. We got a guy lined up, I think, Whit. We got the Vegas Insider.
Oh, Jesus.
He should be popping in right around now if we got him or no. We'll see if he comes in. But that's the rumor. I just got blown up on my phone maybe 20 minutes ago that Marchand to Vegas is taking some more talk. We do not have the mix.
I'm hearing things that I don't know. Like, I don't know if these are like very, very legit, but I guess the Bruins offer to Marchand is 3 times 6.3. And he knows that he'd be getting a lot more, which I also like. How much would he be getting? What's he, 37?
It's crazy.
But I understand wanting to be, a Bruin forever and you're the captain, but you guys stink and you're going nowhere. No prospects, no picks. The Bruins are pathetic. If I was Marchand, like, it's so much easier being Usmer, right? Like, I want to move on to a contender. I want to try to win another cup, but being the captain, living here forever, I get it. But I would be like, get me out of here. Get me out of here right now.
He doesn't want to
go. As a
single
player, we were go ahead.
He's come out. He's come out and said like he doesn't want to get traded.
And then he saw their final take it or leave at 6.3 times 3, and he's like, fuck you. We'll see. Because if he doesn't get traded today, he's definitely re-signing, correct?
Well, it would be the most Don Sweeney fucking thing in the world to not trade him. And then, we're going to keep our guys. We trust the guys here. We'll reevaluate in the summer. And then the summer comes around and he signs with someone else. Someone's going to give him a bag, and it's certainly not going to be Don Sweeney.
I think we're looking at maybe like 5 to 10 years of Bruins just
stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, nobody in the building.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, how are you going to be good? What are you going to be good with?
They got McAvoy. They got Swayman. They got Pasternak.
They got 3 great players.
Great player. Yeah.
I think that's a great building block. They have a ton of money to spend on this summer. It's a desirable place to play.
Who they signing this summer?
There's nobody left. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
There's like
that's the
no
tough
free
part.
agents ever
There's-
again.
yeah.
Like, never again will be a lot of free
You
agents.
spent all this time. Kachuk's gonna leave Ottawa, and your team's falling apart at the seams, baby.
Hey,
It's
did you see
all
Brady
crashing
Tkachuk
down.
today? Brady Tkachuk's crying in his press conference saying they traded away his best friend. I don't think Ottawa has really a platform to stand on right now. He is out of there. I guarantee he doesn't finish his contract there. Guarantee it.
I think
Wow.
you're projecting right now. You're projecting.
That's the Bruins' big chance. They get him there. That could change it around. Whit, we got you on here. I kind of been trying to push away the Oilers talk, waiting for you, but we got into it a little bit. They made 2 moves. Frederick Wallman. Thoughts?
I love them. They needed some help on D. Now, a lot of people were saying on the right side, but like Kulak can play right D, has been. Wallman sneaks. Wallman's having like a sneaky, really good year. Now, granted, with the points he has, that will kind of disappear a little bit because he's going to get no power play time in Edmonton. But it's not even about like him being an offensive defenseman. It's just a solid top 4 D-men, 20 minutes a night, right? Nurse has had a great season. It's more about, and I love Frederick. I don't know, when is Frederick supposed to be healthy, G? Is that like 2 more weeks-ish?
Yeah, I wouldn't say anytime soon. I'd say probably a month, maybe.
Oh, all right. So
3 to
that's not
3 weeks.
ideal. That's not ideal. You want him at least 10 games to go in the lineup before the playoffs start. I'm more worried about just the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4. Like I think they're 2-6 in their last 8. They snuck by Montreal in overtime last night. McDavid looked a lot better last night, though. I feel like since 4 Nations, he's probably just been a little exhausted. Thank God we have Leon. I just looking at the West now. Thank God, like it's Colorado and Dallas doing this. That wouldn't be till the conference final. We can at least wait on that. I did not need LA getting anything done because I started here in LA with Marchand. I'm like, no. And how perfect would that be? If I'm LA, I'm like, this would be the one guy that could maybe come in against the Oilers first round and stop this madness of it would be 4 years in a row, like maybe muck it up, grind it up, and piss McDavid off. I'm not as optimistic as I was earlier when they were the best team for about 2 months in the National Hockey League, but still, like, let's see how the season finishes out. They need to go on some sort of run. They need to have like a 10-2 run coming down the stretch for me. Marshall.
Big one for Jersey.
Attaboy, Pasha.
Elliot Friedman, Cody Glass, former first-round pick from Pittsburgh to New Jersey. Pasha.
I don't know much about Cody Glass, so I don't have a thought on this. Like, is he a centerman?
I think he plays center. I think Vegas first-round pick, I believe.
5th overall pick. Or 6th
He was a high pick. Yeah. Too early to say, but like I said, that's not going to move the needle. Devils are toast. Talk to you in October.
If Carolina doesn't trade those those 2 first-rounders, if you're Aho or Slavin, it's like, what the fuck? What? That's what we did? We traded. We didn't re-sign Gensel. We traded Netchus. We traded Rantanen. And we got Stankoven and 2 first-rounders. Like, you're done. You're not a contender. You're out. That Jersey Carolina series will just be like, who's going to get pounded in the second round? That Carolina has to do something. Has to do something with those picks. And I mean, looking like around the league as well. I think that LA has to do something. Right?
They did pick up Kuzmenko. Guy can score some goals.
Michkov's going to be pissed. Michkov went on that run since they got him. He's been unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know about that move by them. I mean, you're talking Jersey in the playoff. I'm starting to think Jersey might drop out of the playoffs, so Carolina wouldn't even see them.
They might, man. They might. Yeah, they're in big trouble.
Okay, so Marchand,
Columbus.
Let's think of Marchand for a sec.
Yeah.
I keep hearing like Utah, which is crazy, but I think they like the extension he would sign would be a monster deal. And then you hear Florida. If Florida grabbed him, I would drive to G's apartment and just sit there and look at him cry. Him playing for the Panthers.
That would break me. That would break me. Toronto would break me.
What would you rather, Toronto or Florida for Marchand?
Oh, Florida. Definitely Florida. See, this kills me. Stop doing it, Pasha.
I don't even know if he would. Does he have any say in it?
It sounds like people are saying that he said he doesn't want to go to a rival. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, they're going to ship him off wherever. Don Sweeney's not the most loyal guy in the world.
But I think Don Sweeney would be smart enough to be like, this would be the end of me if I send Marshy to Toronto. And they wouldn't be able to re-sign him to like a big extension, right?
See, if he went to Florida, I could see him being petty and being like, I'm going to now take a discount to play for Florida to shove it up their ass now just for fucking me.
I know, but that would be choosing him over Bennett. I don't see an extension there either.
But I think you're going to be able to get Marchand for cheaper than Bennett, no?
Yeah.
Like, people are saying
Depends
10 million.
on who he signs with.
How was Marchand and Cassidy relationship in Boston? Was there ever any fire there, smoke, everything?
I never heard anything.
I think it was more the younger guys that had the issue with Cassidy. So, I mean, Marchand always spoke super high of Cassidy. Obviously, he's gonna. But I think they had a pretty decent relationship there.
Nice.
So Winnipeg has gotten Luke Shen and Brandon Tanev, correct?
And Biz, when he came on, he said he thinks they're getting Braden Shen now.
So that getting Luke, you would think that was like the beginning. If they get Braden Shen, oh my God, the Central Division, Jesus Christ.
It's insane. It's insane.
I think Yance coming on last week or 2 weeks ago and saying that the East was better might turn out to be an all-time dumb chickless statement.
Yeah, he took it back earlier in the show today. Yeah. Yeah.
Yance
as he was injecting, he said Leafs mania into his bloodstream with an IV. He's all about the Leafs now because of the Lawton deal.
Oh, he loves lots. Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, there he
Welcome
is.
to Vegas Insider. Miggy, what's going on out there?
What are you hearing?
Is that a Daigle, Merle? The Daigle suit?
Those definitely don't fit me still. This one barely fits me. This one's from Japan. OG
You look
Eagles.
great, Mer.
Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? Look at that hair, man. That thing is like awesome.
This is the Extravaganza Migs.
I know,
Vegas,
I was
you got
listening.
Riley Smith back. You got the Misfit. They don't stop there, though. What else they got cooking?
What are you hearing? Are they getting Marchand?
I heard their targets are Marchand and the Shen guy. They're trying to get, but they just don't have a lot. Ooh, that's nice. He
Does
looked
look
great
good.
in that. It's kind
Does
of
look
similar
good.
to the color of the Bruins. Gorgeous. I've heard they're trying to get to. The problem is, one, obviously they're the LTIR magicians, but they also don't have anybody in the stockpile. They basically Brisson going to the Rangers. They got the kid Connolly
From
and they got
Providence.
and they got the Swede goalie that they love, and they really don't want to move on from him. So be interesting to see if they can pull anything. Maybe they have to take on the whole salary or things like that. But
Conley kid, that's great. That would, although it wouldn't be crazy because they do not care. Like they're trading their prospects and their first rounders, but he's nice. He plays at Providence. He's a hell of a player.
Oh, that would go over great in Boston after the Mitchell Miller stuff too. That would just go over
No,
awesome.
he didn't do shit.
they if they trade Connolly, they will not have one first round draft pick anymore in the system from the last 7 years. Like they don't have anybody. They've gotten rid of it because they go for it every year. Obviously the town and things like that love it, but it's getting a little
I have
buzzy.
the stats right here. 2017, traded Cody Glass. 2017, traded Suzuki. 2017, traded Bronstrom. 18, traded pick. 19, traded Krebs. 20, Brisson just got traded. 21, Zine's been traded. 22 pick was traded before they even picked. Edstrom's been traded. The 23 pick. Conley's still there. 25 and 26 have already been traded for Vegas.
Love it.
And let's welcome back the Arm Dog.
Whoa.
Arm
Back,
Dog.
boys.
Picked up a couple guys here on waivers while you were gone.
I love it. Good to see Witt. Wides, when we were walking away, he's like, I got to come back on if Witt's on there. Wides is loving it. Chris
They got to
Weidman.
have somebody in the chat makes a good point. Like every year, Vegas is getting somebody nobody saw coming. Last year, the Hurdle deal, I almost passed out on my couch.
Hey, this just reeks of Marchand.
That's what everybody out here is.
I know.
Everybody
But I
out
don't
here
know
getting
what it
real
would be.
antsy.
It would be Trevor Conley. Like, I just want to see G.
Oh my God!
Well, that's why
he's
we have
gonna
BetterHelp
crash.
as a sponsor today, Whit. We knew
really?
there was going to be
Great
damage for the
sponsor for
Bruins.
Yeah, we need it.
Am I crazy? I just can't stop thinking about the Central Division now.
Whoa, buddy, we just did
I
a hit
feel-
on that.
I feel so bad in Army. Last year, you were the Winnipeg guy. You all regular season laughed in our face, and then it blew apart. and then it's happened again. But
against who? Against who did it blow apart?
I think Dallas or Colorado would smash Winnipeg.
Hey, who did it fall apart against for Winnipeg? Unfortunately,
Colorado.
The Avs it's their GM of the year. What he's done.
And they're way better than last year now. The Avs.
Did you see them last night at full health? I mean, that's probably the fastest team. I mean, they're ridiculous. That
and
power
now they're
play
chucking
goal,
in Brock Nelson and Coyle.
he's not bad.
And Coyle and
They got it all.
Drury and VC and Lindgren, and they've done both goalies this year too. Don't forget about that. I mean, and traded Rantanen away.
And they got rid of Rantanen. It's crazy. I guess if their goaltending holds up, I mean, I guess Edmonton, don't you think Edmonton can keep up with them, maybe speed wise? But
Edmonton,
come on, Edmonton.
I would actually rather have. I think Edmonton would struggle more against Winnipeg than I do Colorado or Dallas, and I think that Colorado or Dallas would beat Winnipeg. Do you know what I'm saying there? I think that for some reason Winnipeg gives the Oilers a ton of problems. They always have. Whereas last year, they got by Dallas, Colorado. This reminds me of the Colorado team they lost to in the Western Conference Final. I'm just
they can play run and gun versus those teams, but if they have to get locked down against Winnipeg, a defensive goaltending
Winnipeg, I think needs to go out and get Braden Shen. Seeing what Dallas and Colorado has up front now, it's that would kind of be shovel day
both
off
Shen brothers.
I know.
Both Shens. Oh, that would be juicy. This arms race in that division right now is just sick. It's a sicko season right now in that division. There's Busy Boy. Oh my God, he's a crazy.
What's going on up there? Buy a sport coat, you get invited. I guess. Gee whiz, everybody's doing it. Hey,
I feel like we're gonna get a ton of late deals coming in. We might have to extend the show.
29 minutes.
Everybody's right now panicking. Some of these deals that have gone on.
Do you guys think that Calgary decides we're not really there? Maybe they start to move people because the Knights guys love those Western guys. They love.
Imagine late it came in Kadri to Vegas. That would be
oh my God.
that
would be the off the board. But I think Calgary's been so much better than people expected. I know what you're saying though, Migs.
They said they were going to stop selling, but now when you see what these other teams are doing, be like, all right, man, we're not going to do anything once we're in.
A first rounder for Lawton, and I love Lawton, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Guys, while we have the Migs here and we got a little lull in the show, I got a few Friday picks, a few picks for tonight I want to share with you guys, and then maybe you guys got a couple of your own to get in there. The 6-game slate tonight, always a little weird on deadline day. They talk about there shouldn't be any games on deadline day, but what would us gamblers do if that was the case? So here we go. A couple quick picks for you guys Friday night. Jets money line -120.
Ooh.
Sorry, Pasha. I got the Blues 3-way +110 at the Anaheim Ducks. They've been on fire. And I got Robert Thomas over 2 points or 2 points or more. +240. He's on a 11-game point streak, I believe. 11 or 13. What is it? I know it's an odd number. 11-game point streak. I love the Blues. And then, Miggy, this is for you. I got Vegas -1.5 parlay with a Hurdle point +162.
Hurdle has found such a nice spot in the lineup. He seems to have completely gotten healthy, and man, is he good. What a pickup by them last year.
He has 26, 27 goals right around there, right?
Yeah,
Vegas might win 10-0 tonight. I mean,
I think what is their record? They're 28-3 at home. I think this season, the Vegas flu is back, full blown. Whatever's going on here, they're doing well. I love the Vegas pick. My
23-6-3, Migs. 23-6-3 on home ice.
Let's not get in the weeds there. I mean, let's just go with 28-3. Makes me feel better when I put some cash on them later. But
that's a great record.
I'm going Barbashev anytime goal. I think that, his style of play against the lower, he's gotten moved down off that Eichel line, and I think it helps him because the matchup he gets kind of the lower, maybe second, third line, and where he can run around a bit, and then maybe, so I have him anytime goal tonight is my pick.
All right. Hey guys, listen, I should have had Pasha ring a little bell or get something. Maybe you can do that trade deadline noise, but we have a premiere. There it is. Tonight. on the DraftKings Sportsbook. We got game notes, puck line parlay that me and the Arm Dog cooked up for the people out there. So you can go on the DraftKings. You can find on their little NHL tag.
There it is.
Look at that. Jack McCarthy cooked up the little graphic for us, put us on there. The game notes.
Oh, boy.
Winnipeg Jets -1.5. Utah Hockey Club -1.5 versus the Blackhawks, and the Vegas Golden Knights versus our Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's a nice payout.
All together for plus 1456.
Army, I feel like they kind of sandbagged you with that picture there.
Oh, it's brutal. I mean, who
I
does
don't hate that,
to the
Army.
guy?
I don't.
No,
hate
I've
it.
seen way worse of Army on these graphics.
Oh, wait, I get hosed the most. Like, I know Witt complains a lot about he gets hosed. I get hosed. I'm either not in the graphic or I look like that. Like, thanks a lot. Fuck.
Hey, Army, where's Raquel? Where's Raquel going?
What are they going to do? He's got a few years left on his contract. They got to have someone to play with Sid, right?
He's been unreal this year.
He's been a horse. I mean, I don't know what Dubas might do with him. They got to have bodies in the lineup, though. You got to have, you got to have guys to play with other guys a little bit. And he's still under contract, and it's not that much money, for what he's making here. So I don't know, but I mean, I'd wait to the distance here. He's played, he's played a big body, junkyard dog type of game for the Penguins this year. He's finishing, he's scoring, on pace for 40 right there. Greg in the chat, thank you. Raquel on pace for 40. He's had a great season, just an absolute horse for them this year. Would he fit as a Vegas guy that they would get? Would he be a fit? He's fairly big. He plays, I give him credit. He plays a big body game. He gets after guys, forecheck, loose puck retriever, great hands, can finish.
Show me the Vegas lineup if we can, Pasha.
Yeah, he's not from Western Canada though, hey Migs?
Yeah, they love I'm telling you, they love the Westerns. They always lean into that way. They just like it. Obviously, it's kind of their trend. Big meat. I mean, I guess they could think of if they're really going to move. The rumor is like a Hague could get moved for someone.
They got to re-sign him, I think, right?
Yeah, they got to, and he's going to be a cap casualty. They won't be able to probably re-sign him the way it is.
He's RFA though, right?
Again, I don't get into the weeds. RFA, UFA, they're all.
We're sniffing around for that lineup. I gotta bring up this Jacob Lothian's question. I don't know, $15. I don't even know where that money goes, but you don't got to spend that much money to ask a question. But we already talked a little bit about it. Devil's gonna make moves. Brady would be awesome. Yeah, we talked about that. Brady.
It is.
Of course, everybody wants him. Everybody
got a little breaking news here, guys. Got a little breaking news.
Wyatt.
From Darren Dreger, Wyatt Johnson just signed a 5-year, $8.4 million AAV deal.
I love this. What a move by this kid.
That's
Don't
great.
take the 8 years. Don't take the 8 years.
No, slide with it.
Matthews style, dude. Take the 5 years. He'll probably be, 27? What's he, 22? 23? He's going to sign another monster ticket.
He's 22.
Yeah. Kid's an absolute stud. Don't forget who told you about him first, Whit.
Merle given the shot total years ago in the playoffs, weren't you, the Mer?
Yeah,
Dallas.
I got the scouting report from him early on.
Jim Nill,
when is
unreal.
Jamie Benn up? Can we look?
I got it right here. I got it right here.
Aren't him and Sagan done after this year?
Hey, boys, I just got a text. I got to get up to the rink. I'm going to shoot up to the rink, see if I can dig anything up, and I'll text you guys.
Maggie.
All right,
All right,
I'm going
Miggy.
to be up there banging on the glass. Like
Break
your
into
boy
the
on me.
locker room, Migs.
Looking great,
There it
Miggy.
is.
Looking great there, buddy.
That up, boy,
Little
Miggy.
slow, trying to get ready for maybe a Nantucket weekend this
The
summer.
arm Zempic. He's on the arm Zempic.
He's on
boys.
Yeah, thinned out, ready for the
Here we
finals.
go.
Decathlon.
Witty, Jamie Benn, UFA. Granlund, UFA. Duchesne, UFA. Dadonov, UFA. Let me look at the back end here. CC, UFA. Brendan Smith, UFA.
Duchesne or Jamie Benn are gone.
They got a lot of guys that are like, this
The
is big for them.
deal.
This
Yeah,
is
this
big
is it.
for them
They're
this
all
year.
in.
They're all
knows what he's doing.
Jimmy Nill, what a thrill.
Are there any D-men? Oh, Ristolainen's out there.
What other D-men do you have on the board there, Murr?
My D-man left on the board. We got Eric Carlson, Bowen Byram. We got Alexiak, Ristolainen, Savard from Montreal, Mario Ferraro, Rasmus Anderson, and Noah Dobson.
I know. We were talking about Noah Dobson last night. Is that real? If Lou trades him, it's just like retire.
Has he signed? Is he owed a deal or is he signed?
Like, what don't they like about him? I don't get it. Why is he coming into conversations?
Because he had half a beard one day.
Stats. He had that 70-point season or something. So his comparables.
He's RFA. He's coming up RFA at the end of this season.
Yeah. And
coming off,
they all go by those
$4 million
comparables. So when you have the 70-point season, he's going to get a bag, and that's just not the Islanders' way.
I feel like there's like a lot of guys that might still get traded, unless this is going to end up being. I mean, it's not a dud by any means, but there's a lot of names that have been thrown out there for quite a while that haven't moved yet.
Yeah, I'll read off a few forwards we're still looking at from our board. Brock Besser, Raquel, Robertson, Toronto, Marchand, obviously, Pedersen we talked about. Jared McCann in Seattle would be a nice one. Donato, Chicago, something's got to happen there. He's got to sign or they got to move him. Joel Armia from Montreal would be a nice little pick. Geeky in Boston. Middlestead did go. Take him off. We had him on our board. Nick Bukestad. He's usually a guy that moves around the deadline. Big body. You want to just add depth. And I had Blake Coleman on there from the Flames, even though they say they're not moving guys. But you got to look around me. It's over, guys. We're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I know. Where's Geeky going to go? He's RFA. They got to trade him. Oh, maybe the Bruins are thinking like what Army's saying about the Pens. We got to keep a couple players.
Yeah. I mean,
But
unbelievable.
they gotta sign him, and he's had a good year. He's been hot as shit lately.
I was told as of last week or a week and a half ago, the Bruins and Geeky hadn't had many or much at all contract conversations for this season. So that's not good.
So,
hey, how about this?
I think Carlson will have to be summer, and I think Pedersen will have to be summer.
You have to get memes to create that trade. He's got to get creative, like 3 teams for that contract. That's a memes trade.
What's Detroit doing, boys?
They got the goalie.
Here's the Detroit guy.
There's our Detroit insider.
What do you have for us, memes? Anything brewing on your phones there? It looks like you're kicking back.
It looks
just
like he's
texting the
catching
boys.
like some steam right now while he's on this.
Yeah. Is he on mute?
Did you bring those palm trees in just
You're
for
on
today's
mute.
show?
Yeah, between 2 ferns. Between 3 ferns.
What do you got for Detroit? Anything buzzing? Stevie
The
Y?
Tarasenko. I want Tarasenko out for Petey. It's the big one.
Straight up.
Straight up. I think it's a fair trade.
How are you massaging that one through with Alvin? You got him on the horn?
I'm getting Stevie high as can be. I'm like, just get him out.
That's the first time I've heard Elias Pettersson's name with Detroit, and I kind of feel like that would work. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a legend Swede connection with Detroit, but
That's what
maybe that would be like what I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, it mixes it. They're both in a dull year. Tarasenko, like he's obviously good, but he's not doing much.
But it wouldn't be. It would have to be so much more than that.
One of those deep. You throw in Pekka,
Sandine Pellikka,
Hall, Norris,
at least, and maybe one of your goalie prospects. That's what Vancouver needs. They need the goalie, one of those goalie prospects.
Yeah.
Also,
I do like
get to work, Meads. Get to work.
Tuck to wings too, maybe.
Just
get it.
Tuck, yeah, he should be on our board
It's
too.
all they have all Americans and Swedes. Just make it an all American and Swedes team.
My kind of
Who's
team.
the biggest GM you've spoken to today? Memes. Who's the biggest guy you've spoken with today? And has there been any creativity that you've had in dealing with the GMs today that you almost had a couple bites on creating one?
Tree living.
Tree living. You talk to him.
Break up the core 4. He won't budge.
Really?
You need to get rid of it. It's not working.
What do you say when you threw that at him?
He just hangs up. I just ramble on. He's just like, all right, Dale.
You're unbelievable.
What a
Dale.
deal for Dallas. Wyatt Johnson, 8'4". He's going to be a 75 to 90 point player the next 5 years.
Yep. Great deal for them.
Unbelievable. Jimmy Nill.
He's making less than Ben and Sagan are this year.
And all those guys are going to be off the board next year too. They're gone. Like they're all like all those guys.
Jim Nill might be the GOAT. Like if they end up grabbing a cup this year or at some point, like what he's done there. Do you remember how ugly things looked in Dallas for a little while? And then that one draft, that Robertson, Heskinen, and Ottinger draft. Boom.
Unbelievable, boys. We're almost 15 minutes to the deadline, to the cutoff. Of course, we have some tricklers. Boys, I just want to let you know.
Army, not to interrupt you. I was traded from Anaheim to Edmonton. It was 3:29, and it broke. 3:29 Eastern, because I was like, I'm good.
You were in the queue.
It had been sent in at 2:59, and then it got. But like I remember, Bob McKenzie tweeted it at 3:30. So that was
the old fax machines. They would be coming. They would be backed up on the fax machine. This is true. They would be backed up. They had one little single fax machine at the NHL office, and they would all be filing in. It would get jammed up. So they would come through late.
I got traded at like 3:02. So I trickled in right at the end there when I got dealt out of Pittsburgh to Atlanta as well. So there are big trades. Obviously, that was Marian Hossa, Hall of Famer, going to Pittsburgh at that time to join Whitney on a big run, wildly known as the Colby Armstrong trade, though, in the books. I believe Dale
part of that
had his fingerprints on that.
Everyone was like, "Oh, Dupuis just a throw-in."
Yeah,
and he went on to be so important there.
Yeah, winning a cup in 09 and riding shotgun with Sid and wild success as like a kind of journeyman grinder player. So you never know how these are going to work out, which is one question mark. And I got asked this on TV. Do you guys have any concern, although Colorado looks amazing, do you have any concern about any chemistry, any kind of like grass isn't always greener? Can this work? Will it be good on paper? It looks like it will. Is there any concern here as we're 20 games under or less in the season right now that there's going to be some growing pains or hiccups?
I'm not worried about it at all.
Neither am I.
The only question I would have is the goaltending. Not a ton of playoff experience, right?
Yeah.
But they did it with Kemper. So it's like I was thinking that already, like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, no, they kind of already won it without a guy, one of the top dogs. I think that I'd be willing to bet anything going back to the East. I'm just kind of all over the place in my brain. Do we all agree that Toronto, Florida, or Tampa is going to the Cup final?
I'm Florida. I'm Florida bound. I might just book my ticket right now.
It's the top three in the Atlantic. Like I'm sorry, Capitals fans. It's been the coolest story. The goal chase. I'm leaning Florida. Florida's probably going to do this again. Although Tampa, Florida is going to be wild.
Buddy Witt, before you came on, I was like, oh, Florida teams and Dallas in the final. Ha 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 ha. Then McFarland in Colorado took some lewds and went all crazy and started slinging it. They're crazy in Colorado, mile high, higher than that.
I always think of the GMs on this day, like tonight, McFarland, and I don't know if he drinks or not, but he might pour himself a whiskey and be like, look in the mirror, like, good fucking job, buddy. You fucking did it. And then there's other guys that are sitting there like, what the hell did I just do?
How do you think the fans are going to feel? Like, do you think the optics of us not doing anything, sitting on our hands will be okay?
Just couldn't move the guy because his Corsi rating was so high. Couldn't do it.
I just thought we could get a second instead of a third. They wouldn't go off the third.
Eric Tulsty's like, what happened?
We had him.
He's like, it's like, can someone inception me? Where's Leonardo DiCaprio? Just change my brain. What happened to the Hurricanes? Like, it's crazy though that like the how you feel about yourself as a GM tonight at 7:00. It's like the range of emotions between guys. I mean, guys went all in. Guys did what they had to do. They did their job. It's now on the players and the coaching staff. Let's see if I gave you the tools to give you a chance. Or Carolina trades Rantanen and then deals them. Although, in fairness, they offered him 13.25 times 8. He just didn't want to be there. And I feel bad for Hurricanes fans, but I think Biz was the one that was first on it. Like, he doesn't want to play there. Not a lot of guys want to sign there. I actually don't know why. I think
it sucks to play that style.
You think it's more the style?
Yeah. It's
of
hard
knowing like an offensive player, like, I'm not going to be a 100-point guy here.
I'm going to chase pucks. I'm going to hang on a guy's back like Jody Robinson, the backpack, just crawling around on guys in the minors and Bridgeport. Like, we've seen this act. It sucks to play against them, and it's hard teams to beat because they're always on you, but you limit and give up like other things. And I watch him. I like the fit. I do think though, at the end of it, Whit, and you say that about Tulski, he's probably a little bit happier knowing that this Stankoven can come in and play that style though. I think he'll be able more so to play.
Dude, he's had an underwhelming year.
Yes.
And 2 first
him for
rounders,
Natchez is just such a downgrade, I think.
Oh yeah.
I know. It's like
if you don't do something with these picks quickly, I mean, if you don't do it by next year, what are you doing?
I can't believe that. I liked VZ and Lingren going to Colorado. It's like, all right, Lingren, like that's the playoff style defenseman, and VZ could play fourth, maybe third line, depending on how he's playing. And then they get Nelson. I'm like, wow, great job. And then he goes out and gets fucking Coyle too. This guy, like that is some legit work
Unreal.
on deadline day.
Unreal.
Like I thought after Nelson, I'm like, oh, that's great move. Like they kept him away from Winnipeg because it was Winnipeg and Nelson. It was like the perfect fit. And then, no, I'm going to go grab him from a division rival. And then I'm still going to get a third line center.
Yeah, that goes on talked about too, is if you can do a deal that keeps them off the team you're going to play against. It's double. You're getting double the value.
That's why if somehow like Free Living finds out that Marchand's like possibly going to Florida, that you'd think he'd be like, oh, fuck. Like, we got to get in this.
So is there any teams that did nothing that are kind of in the race here?
Montreal? What did Montreal do?
Montreal?
Nothing major, right?
No.
Boston's moved everybody. What about out west? Calgary's been super quiet.
Boys, we might have something brewing.
Where, out in your area?
Look at what the sick fucks in Vegas just tweeted.
Oh, no. Here we go.
These guys.
Where's G? Put G's face on.
These guys are sickos.
Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
Give me a one shot of that.
No. The best part about Vegas is like, obviously they're either the social media team is excellent. They're either just like teeing people up, or the front office is like willing to tell them like, hey, send out a teaser, get them going right now.
Funny how Migs disappeared and then that tweet happened.
Yeah, he got called down to the rink. What is he doing? Yeah. He's probably packing up someone's bag.
He might be their social media guy.
Yeah.
Vegas Insider. Vegas is just incredible.
Something's brewing, boys.
To be a fan and have your team openly say, I don't give a flying fuck about draft picks and I don't give a shit about prospects. That is, I would think as a fan, the greatest feeling in the world. Because like we have a chance and we have a chance every year with these guys, and let's just keep going for it and deal with the problems later.
Boys,
like they're big game hunting. So it's got to be Erik Karlsson, Pettersson, or Marchand, right?
I'm getting a lot of tweets right now, guys.
Or Shen. What about Shen to Vegas?
Frank Saravelli is saying Brad Marchand, the Oilers are heating up for Brad Marchand.
Whoa! Get the hell out of here.
If that happens,
get out of here.
Swear to God, you're going to fucking dread dealing with me every day.
Army, do you have to go back on Sportsnet after this?
I do
after
we
extend this. Huh?
Brad Marchand.
Should we extend? I got to go back on.
That's a nightmare.
I think we got to extend it at least 15 minutes, right?
Do you remember what Joe Thornton said he would do if he scored 4 goals when everyone was yelling at Tomas Hertl? Do you remember what he said, Army? Back in the day? He said, I'd whip my hog out.
Joe Thornton, yeah.
I'll shake it around the room. And if Edmonton trades for Marchand, what the hell would they trade?
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Edmonton needs to somehow get rid of Arvidsson and or Skinner, but they both have no move clauses, which nobody knew about till Elliott broke the news this week.
What about prospects? Who do they got for good prospects? Hey. Oh, don't do it, Posh. No.
Oh my God. Evander Kane in the chat here. Dylan in the chat. Kane for Marchand. Would you like that,
fuck
G?
Fuck off.
You don't like that?
How? Evander Kane for Brad Marchand? No.
Gee, I think you forget Marchand's 37 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Team Canada. He was one of the first guys selected.
I don't think he'll be on Team Canada next year is what I'm saying. Like it's a little different now. He is on the way down. Like G's
still better than Evander Kane.
I texted G about possibly Utah being very interested in Marchand. He goes, we better get a Ginla and another first. I'm like, buddy.
Hey,
he's
well, the rumor.
37.
Hey, people are telling me that the Bruins ask right now is a first, a top prospect, and a good player. I mean, that's kind of what that would be: a Ginla, a prospect, and a good player. A Ginla didn't even make the World Juniors team.
Yeah, but that was the biggest joke of all time by Canada.
Yeah, if there's one team this year that's going to butcher something, it's the Bruins. I mean, right from the start of the year all the way through. I mean,
hey, I'm calling it. I'm calling it, guys.
Into a laughing stock.
They're not going to trade Marchand, and then they're going to lose him at the end of the year for nothing. Watch. Don Sweeney's a fucking moron.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're going to trade him solely because if he's told them I'm not taking the deal that you just told me was take it or leave it, they have to trade him. They have to.
But they got 6 minutes here. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Fuck,
can us four one time get just an absolute blockbuster dropped on our nuts? Like I'm talking but I'm talking like off the board. Nobody even saw it. Nothing.
Marner to Vegas, Marner somewhere.
No.
The Evander Kane situation in Edmonton's very odd because if Evander Kane comes back and he is like healthy and good, that is then I'm like, holy fuck, cup back on, baby.
You guys need him, like right? Like
I know. But also, dude, he had one surgery, and then in the midst of the recovery, he had to have another surgery on something else. Like we saw Marchand 3 surgeries this offseason. It took him a while to get going. How's Kane going to hop back into the mix playoff hockey against the Kings first round?
He somehow pops back in, and he's like really good. What's this say?
If the Canes were getting for the playoffs what they got these last 13 games, and it's for the best. The North Carolina governor, Roy Cooper, on the Mikko.
Oh, yeah, he's a super fan.
The politicians are in on it.
Yeah, he got in and read the starting lineup. He thinks he's a GM now.
The governor of North Carolina.
They cut off the quote, and he started talking about tariffs after, and they just cut it off. No more Pink Whitney in Canada.
Yeah, I like what Joe Easton. St. Louis has been quiet. They got to be doing something. They're right there.
Yeah, but they're kind of
like the
now.
move.
But the Parayko injury is a killer to them.
But by the way, did he get hurt on that face-off play at the end of the game? Did you see that?
No.
3-on-3 in OT.
When he
threw
fell?
up a face. Yeah, and he fell awkwardly on.
He got all
3-on-3
twisted
with
up.
like 3 seconds left. They win the drawback.
A
And then it goes
breakaway.
through a play, and he looked like me in beer league. He just fell over.
Yeah,
Brutal.
he had his legs on the wrong side. He was just all twisted up and went down. Yeah, maybe that's when it happened. I mean, Binnington stole that game against the Kings the other night, though, but he did go down awkwardly hard in that situation. Besser for Brant Clark, someone's saying in the chat. Besser, what's going on in Vancouver, boys? Hello. Yeah. What are we doing? Where are we going?
Gibson, John Gibson, Anaheim still not anywhere.
I know. Who needs a goalie, though?
Ooh, we got a little deal here. It looks like Chris Johnson on TSN said the Hurricanes and Penguins are closing in on a deal for Ricardo Krell.
No way. They're dealing again. It's a Gensel thing again.
Well, they're going to get a first rounder.
Yeah.
But another, 25th pick overall or something, right? 24th overall.
Pagnotta tweeted that the Hurricanes would be an interesting place for Marchand as well. I mean,
how about these picks right now? Like I got like my son's 14, they're like, I see some of these like in a second pick in 2028. And I'm like, holy shit. Like I was talking to G earlier in this show. I'm like, that could be like my kid. That like we're going deep into the future here, like with draft picks and conditions and all this stuff.
I think when Luka got traded, I think there was like 20-30 picks involved in that trade in the NBA.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I looked at the Oilers picks. I think they have 5 picks in the draft this year. And like it looked thin the next 2 years, Witty boy. It looked thin.
But that goes back to
they have 3 picks this year. 3 picks.
I don't give a shit. Like they can't give a shit. Like
about
the
picks.
Oilers have like obviously I think McDavid re-signed. So what? A 6-year window from now?
Is that true? I just saw something in there.
Like what is realistically the Oilers window? It's probably like the next 6 years. And you got
how old's McDavid? 97 birthday.
McDavid's
28.
28.
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. So he's a 97 birthday, I think, right? He Roar's birth year. Yeah, I mean, look what Crosby's doing at his age.
If we don't get something big coming in here, this has been a dud.
It sounds like Blockbuster might re-sign in Vancouver now, based on what I'm reading. Apparently, they didn't like the offers.
He's been this poor guy, greatest head of hair in the league. He should be bald with all the stress of getting traded every deadline for the last like 4 years. And
So
now
he was
they're gonna
offered.
re-sign him.
Wasn't the offer like 8 times 5, but he wanted more term?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
I'll be
Are you
back.
out?
Go ahead now. Okay.
You're out. You guys going to keep it going? You guys going to keep
Yeah,
it
we'll
going?
keep it going. See if this Marchand thing lands or not.
We got to see if something
Extravaganza.
happens. This
I know our
deadline's
luck.
been a joke.
Soon as we go off, the Marchand deal will come through.
Yeah, we got to
Pettersson will
stay
be
another 15
Carolina.
at least.
Oh, we got to stay. We got to stay. Morals, can you go to your list of players and read off like the 10 names that we've been hearing for months will be traded that haven't been traded?
Well, John Gibson for 6 years we've
I
heard.
don't
been
even think
traded.
about him because goalie market's not. There's no
All right.
goalie market.
Jamie Alexiak, Rasmus Ristolainen, Noah Dobson, Brock Besser, Ricard Raquel. We talked about Marchand, Donato. Ryan Donato was a big one.
Yeah, so maybe they're re-signing him.
Geeky, Nick Bukestad are some of the bigger names I got written down here. Because I took away the Calgary guys. Doesn't seem like they're going to do anything.
No.
So yeah, but like you
3
said,
o'clock,
Vegas
though.
always does something we don't think about.
Andy Strickland just said that Braden Shen will be staying in St. Louis. So there's
Okay.
that.
Okay. Doug Armstrong sticks to his guns there. He's like, I'm not trading my captain. There was
I mean, yeah.
offers out there for sure, but nothing big enough.
Mhm.
I think Winnipeg kind of got dunked on by their 2 division rivals there.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Like a team
Yeah.
like Minnesota didn't do much more, but I'm not surprised by that. Like Minnesota
No.
knows like this isn't their year right now.
Yeah. And I don't think they know what Kaprizov. It doesn't seem
know.
like there's a timeline even on if he comes back. And if he's not back, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they picked up that Brazeau from Boston, big guy. They got rid of that little Russian guy they had.
And
so they did a
Loco
little
went back
something.
to Boston.
Yeah.
It sounds like
speaking of
Ryan
Minnesota.
Ryan Donato will be remaining with the Blackhawks. It sounds like as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, so earned himself a deal there, playing well with Bedard and
I know it's
career
just like-
year.
I know, but,
Harvard guy, right? Harvard guy.
Yeah, Harvard guy. Went to a school Dexter.
Elliot
locally.
Friedman, Marchand to Florida possibility.
Oh my
That-
God!
We had that one a while.
This
we
is-
heard
this
that
is
one
like-
at Four
this is
Nations.
This is like for him to turn down that offer, that lowball offer they gave him, and then Don Sweeney's like, all right, I'm going to trade you to the team that's crushed us our souls the last 2 years. Florida's going to win the cup.
Look at
Florida might
G.
win the friggin' cup. This is unbelievable, G. Who you
You
getting,
can't
G?
give him the
Who do you
Florida.
want back, G? Maybe Sam Miskevich.
Florida? Florida of all teams? Fucking
but-
Florida?
Better than Toronto, right, G? Better than
I
Toronto.
don't know.
Actually, no, because you
No.
beat Toronto all the time. Florida
Yeah.
beats you.
Florida ruined the perfect season, knocked you out the next year.
Oh my God!
Did I not say Florida earlier? I said he's gonna go to Florida. He's gonna sign on a cheap deal. Fuck!
We had that at Four Nations, G, the first night when nobody else was there yet. Remember?
Remember
We were sitting at that dumpy bar that Fish brought us to.
Remember we were talking at Four Nations, like, wow, Marchand's on a line with Bennett after the little rabbit punch last year, but they don't care. And then who knows? They just get to imagine the ruckuses Florida will be causing with Marchand in the lineup. It's the LTIR they have from Matthew Tkachuk. This is just working out perfect for them. It's pretty incredible that like you get lucky that your best player gets hurt. It's not lucky because he's hurt, but you also are then have the chance to bring a high-paid guy in before playoffs. It's everything's working out for Florida again. Gee, your team
back to the
stinks.
elbow room, boys. Get the warm tequila shots ready, G.
If Florida gets Marchand, Toronto got dummied this deadline. Dummied.
Yep.
Florida? Are you kidding me?
What's his exact tweet? What's his tweet?
I gotta find this.
Of all teams, the Florida Panthers. I said 2 teams would break me. 2 teams, the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Florida Panthers.
So what did Vegas do then? It's got to be Carlson, right?
I think I got to go like chain myself out front of Don Sweeney's office. Chain myself to the Bobby Orr statue or something.
DraftKings Sportsbook already has a handshake. Marchand and Bennett from rivals to teammates.
Did Vegas just throw out that little high for like a joke?
Canucks retain Brock Besser. No moves.
James
coming
Myrtle
for the
tweets.
day.
James Myrtle tweets. I don't think the Leafs are done.
Oof.
So they might have done something late.
Oh my
Leafs
God.
fans, shout out in the chat right now. How pissed off are you if you're done? I'm waiting to see some responses. Leafs fans, if you're done, where's your psyche at? How you feeling?
Wow.
Pissed. First response. Pissed. Pissed again. If I'm a Leafs fan, I'm bullshit. This is the best Toronto Maple Leafs team, best Leafs team we've seen. And they didn't do shit.
I hate you.
You know what? We've had him in every team today.
I hate you guys.
A small trade. Columbus got Luke Kunin from San Jose for a 4th round pick.
Move. I like that.
It's a little something for Columbus.
So did Reeves go on waivers just for Lawton?
Yeah, it sounds like it opened up like $1.5 million in cap space. He cleared waivers.
Frank's saying they kept Joel, Armia, and Savard. They're done for the day. So those are 2 guys we had on our trade board.
Pierre LeBrun, pending trade call, Marchand to Florida.
Oh, no!
Wow.
No! No!
You loser!
No!
You loser! Unbelievable!
No!
Unbelievable! Suck it, G.
No!
Oh, Florida's gonna win it.
No!
Florida's gonna win this thing now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, wow. Gee,
No!
what do you want back?
I don't know.
Hey, you think maybe like Lundell or Luostarinen?
Lundell would be nice. But I mean,
I don't think they get rid of anybody.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of Lundell.
If this is with an extension, which maybe it's not.
Yeah,
it probably isn't. So yeah, they might have given up nothing.
Yeah, they're not giving up a good roster player for sure.
And a first round pick for them is basically a 2nd rounder.
Yeah.
Well, you got to.
And you see how the second rounders end up.
You got Patrice Bergeron in the 2nd round, G.
Yeah,
maybe that'll happen again.
Yeah, the Bees are actually good at drafting 2nd rounders. Lowry, Patra, Bergeron.
Yeah, they don't want first rounders.
I cannot believe Brad Marchand's on the Florida Panthers.
I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up.
That team has been menaces, bullies, scumbags forever, and they just added Brad Marchand. Back to the elbow room.
Back to the room. Book the hotels, G.
Imagine if you chucked out like
Chicklets Air.
What?
We gotta do Chicklets Air. Can we
Yes,
finally
true.
do it this year? It's Florida, whoever it is in the West. Colorado, Dallas, Edmonton, Vegas.
Imagine the Leafs throwing out like Marner, Nylander, and I don't know, chuck anyone, Robertson, and then Florida's at home and they throw over the boards.
Yep, it's official.
The Rat King
Bennett
goes
Chuck.
Done deal.
Florida's gonna beat the shit out of Toronto. They're gonna absolutely work them.
Toronto's the biggest loser here.
Canes are done for the day, allegedly. So Ricky Rax is not going there.
Man, that Toolsty had a hell of a deadline.
Fuck, maybe the Devils might
Great
actually
month.
beat them.
I think the Devils actually could beat them.
With Cody Glass, too?
Oh, Friedman.
shit.
It's happening. Marchand to Florida.
Yeah, it's done. Done deal.
G.
We had it at 4 Nations, G. We had it.
I said it 10 minutes ago. I said he
Yep.
had 6 minutes left. It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Wow. Wow.
I mean,
I realistically think Don Sweeney might go down as the most disliked GM of any Boston sports team ever.
I would
And
agree.
he did a hell of a job on that record-breaking season. Like, he made a bunch of moves. He brought in Lindholm. He brought in Hall. Like, they did a ton. And they lost to the Panthers, and that's where shit's
Just give him everything. He gives him everything.
I mean, I'm going to jump.
I've never seen a team
It all got rid of the best coach, the best up-and-coming coach in the league. You got rid of him.
Worst
Now look at
prospects
you.
in the NHL.
Now look
32nd
at
ranked
you.
prospect class.
Oh my god.
Florida owns the Bruins more than any team's ever owned anyone else. Ever.
Bruins own the Leafs, I think, more than the Panthers own us. But
I'm going to say,
come on. It's been years.
I'm going to
It's
say
been
no.
10 years.
I'm going to say no because Florida ran through you to get a cup too.
Tuukka Rask, though. Think about Tuukka Rask.
That was a big one.
They haven't had a goalie in 20 years.
I can't believe that the Bruins trade him to somebody in their division.
Oh my God, there's more. Oh my God, no! Brandon Carlo to the Leafs.
That's a big time move for Toronto. I love that trade. Hey, Leafs fans. I think all the people who wrote I'm pissed off, that's a nice move. I think Carlo, maybe this season hasn't gone like great. That guy is a true playoff style defenseman.
Big, strong, been through it.
Yeah.
I just said the Leafs are the losers of the deadline, and then they go get Brandon Carlo.
No, you're the loser of the deadline.
I'm the loser of the
You're
deadline.
the loser of the deadline.
I'm the loser of the deadline.
That's a great move. Tree living. He came through. He was like, I can't. Well, he's looking at what's coming at him from Florida, and he's like, I can't be done. Holy fuck.
Wow.
I just can't believe it. I can't fathom.
Funny
the
Lodge
fact-
just tweeted the Panthers play in Boston Tuesday night, so we don't have to wait long for some fireworks.
Oh my God.
Hey, gee,
The
you
Bruins
guys are
are done.
legit. Like, I think Pasta should go and request a trade this summer. Like,
I was thinking that last night. I'm like,
you guys are going to be bottom 5 team in the league.
yeah.
Gee,
How
would you
quickly it fell apart.
Would you take Nemitz, Mercer, and a first-round pick for Pasta?
No. I will not. No, absolutely not. You couldn't give us Jack Hughes for Pasternak just because I
All
don't
right,
want to see
settle down.
Pasta in fucking New Jersey.
Hey, Pasha, they would never do Jack Hughes for Pasternak. The injuries now?
Yeah, bitch.
I don't want to talk about Jack Hughes. I'm gonna go cry.
Yeah, so it all started with the Ullmark trade, screwing up, not signing Swayman. Swayman holds out, screws up everything going into the season. Bad start. Monty gets fired, and now they're done. Now it's dismantled.
I know. What the hell happened?
I said this was the greatest offseason in Bruins history. I said they were going to cruise their way to the Stanley Cup final.
I can't believe it's over in Boston. It was a hell of a run, man.
Hell of a run.
What was it? It was like 16 years of being a legit contender.
Dude, they haven't been sellers since they sold Sergei Samsonov to the Oilers in like 06.
No, so when did they signed Marchand? They signed Savard and Chara
09.
in 06, 07?
07, yeah.
And so, I mean, you're looking at 18 years of unreal teams that had a chance to win 3 cup finals, 1 cup, and now it's all began. The rebuild in Boston. Wow.
Horrible.
I'm telling you guys
Let's
forget.
see what they got back. Let's see what they got back.
It was supposed to happen years ago when Monty got
It was supposed to happen last year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Monty
once
kept
Cretin
you guys
and Bergeron
relevant.
left.
Oh, man.
What would be a good return for Brandon Carlo? What do you guys think?
You would love it if Fraser Minton or Easton Cowan was
Oh, my
involved.
God. Easton Cowan.
Yeah.
Easton
You
Cowan.
think he's worth that one of those big time? I don't think so.
If Tree Living was like, holy shit, look at what Florida's doing. I got to do something.
And
I think he's trying to trade Minton way before he's trying to trade Cowan.
If it's Easton Cowan, I'm pumped. Even Fraser Minton.
If it's neither one of those guys though, and it's just picks.
Oh, brutal. I mean, Sweeney hasn't gotten 1 first-round pick out of this trade deadline. That's insane.
Colorado's bringing back Eric Johnson.
I love that Stanley Cup champion there. I love that.
And it sounds like the Sens are about to get Fabian Zetterlund from San Jose. Ex-Devil. He's a good player.
He's good.
He is good.
He's really
Yeah.
good. Where did he go? Sens?
Yeah, it looks like Sens are going to get him.
Yeah, he's a nice little player.
He'll replace that Norris shot because Zetterlund's got a good heavy shot.
Oh, it's got to be actually Nick Robertson's got to be in that deal.
Yeah, he was on our board.
Carlo. Wow.
They need a pro.
Hey,
geez.
Is it crazy of me to think that like if the Rangers get in, they could win?
They'll own the Caps. Didn't they sweep them last year? And it's basically the same team. The Rangers have like they're still got the guys. They still got Igor.
Okay, based on 2 of the 3 Atlantic teams knocking each other out first round, if they get by Washington, I mean,
the Rangers, the Caps are not the real deal, but the Rangers will not get by the Caps. The Rangers are horrible.
Hey, Pasha, want to make another bet?
That what?
That if the Rangers play the Caps, that they'll beat them?
1,000%.
All right, buddy, name your price, dude. Right now, I think you owe me. I think you owe me. I think it'll be 4,100 when the Rangers get in. It's 3,600 right now, and then the Rangers get in is another 500. That'd be 4,100.
No. 3,600. Where do you get that from?
I was up $600 before anything from that fucking Oilers game you bet me that's on the Chicklets vlog in Chicago when I was missing the shots, and that you've been weaseling money off of since that game when
it's
the Oilers
3,800. I know it's even more.
Okay,
I owe you 3,800.
So it's actually 4,300 when the Rangers get in. I'll let you go 4,300 double or nothing Rangers Caps to get all your money back, and I'll be 8,600 if the Rangers win.
Holy fuck! I gotta think about that one. I'm not saying
that's
no.
A nice bet.
Let me think about that one.
Then you follow that series, Pasha. That becomes your Chicklets decathlon.
Holy fuck!
If you thought he hated the Rangers before, imagine if it was going to cost him 8,600 if they won.
Jesus.
Hey,
that's easy travel too.
Hey,
just take the train, DC to New York. You're in, Pasha. You got to do it.
The Boston Bruins are a laughingstock now. How do you feel?
I want
like you just watched in what a couple weeks, and then 40 minutes, your team literally fall apart.
Like, a lot of people saying I deserve this.
The Penguins fans had like the slow burn. Yours was just like a throat slash.
111 points last year. 111 points. They were. I mean, and they made 2 major offseason signings, and this is where we're at right now. I said it was the greatest offseason in Bruins history, better than when they got Char and Savard. I said that about Zadorov and Lindholm. I mean, I need to see the return. We need to see the return before I say anything else. But it's like, this is a fucking joke. Don Sweeney is such a loser. He is just, I mean, the guy can't draft for his fucking life.
Well, you had great teams for a long time.
Yeah, but a lot of those teams were I mean, Jeff Gordon drafted half of those teams. He was the guy that drafted Bergeron and Krejci and Marchand and no.
Boys,
no.
There he is.
Can you believe that? I couldn't wait to get back here. I just was on. Oh my God, G.
That's sweat, Army. He's sweating through his suit.
He watched his team fall apart.
Oh my God, Sweetie just gave it all in. Carlo, adios. See you, buds.
Boyle, have a good time in Colorado.
Hey, don't forget his what do you call it in the playoffs? The game changer?
X Factor, Brazo.
X Factor Brazo from last year's gone too.
Hey, you know when this all started? When I said Tyler Johnson was going to be the X Factor of the season, and then he got cut 2 days later.
Boys,
nobody's had a worse day than Grinnelli. Nobody.
Oh my God, I was sitting there and they're like, oh, we got something. And then in my ear, we're waiting, we were talking. They're like, we got to get it to Elliot. We get it to Elliot. He's like, it's like 3:03 or something. I look at my clock. I'm like, no way. They're like, Marchand, the Florida Panthers. I was like, can we get off air right now? I got to get back here and see this crash out from G. Oh,
at 2:54, I said, it's not happening. Looks like it ain't happening. We're good.
G, yes or no question. Do you know Puck?
I know Puck.
I don't know about that.
What a question.
I think the biggest
I don't think he knows Puck, guys. I don't think you know Puck.
He does not know Puck.
I think I'm the biggest mush of all time.
Gee, you don't know Puck. Make the t-shirt. G don't know Puck.
I just think I'm the biggest mush of all time. Is what
Look
it
at
comes
his
down
hair.
to.
The greatest offseason.
Jay, you're
He's
looking at
falling
this all
apart.
wrong. This is perfect. You can put the NHL on the back burner and focus on the college hockey now. Your Boston College team is number one. BU's good. You're just now you focus on the Boston College hockey.
Boys, did you see this trade? Is this real?
G don't know puck. I want a hat. Get me a hat for Monday's recording. G don't know puck.
$7.8 million of cap space to be cleared out next year by trading Shea Weber. They traded Shea Weber's contract. The Hall of Famer
Who was
Shea
he with?
Weber with Utah just got traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. Jeez.
But
That's what he said.
Hey,
Remember
Bedard,
he
we
said
got you
that?
Shea Weber.
He said that when he was on, and we don't, or Biz said we don't have the other teams here to eat all the contracts or whatever, like the Coyotes. And they just went and just did a Coyote trade. Wow. Shea Weber, congratulations. Original
Why did Utah
six.
do that, Army?
I don't know.
Maybe
Is
they got something
coming in
cooking.
late?
Maybe
Victor
there's something cooking.
Soderstrom and Atu Ratu traded.
Somebody says Mitten to Boston.
Oh my God, that would be
Ooh.
incredible.
That'd be nice.
We'll take that.
Gee, the worst part is you don't even have one prospect.
No,
Like,
the
not-
worst prospect pool in
not
the NHL.
One guy to be like, all right, he's coming. Well, hopefully now you lose every game and get a top 5 pick.
Yeah, that's all you can hope for at this point. I mean, miserable
But
for
then, but then
Misa.
Sweeney's making the pick.
You can't. I mean, you got to fire Don Sweeney, right? Like you can't go into the offseason with Don Sweeney as the GM. Would they let him do all these trades if they weren't firing him?
Chat, who knows more about puck, G or Don Sweeney?
Oh,
Guys,
that's me.
Let me go
me.
back. Let me go back to that Shea Weber deal because there's an interesting player in there going to Chicago, Victor Soderstrom.
Yeah.
So he's playing over here in Brenas. They're the number one team in the SHL. He's a D-man. 9 goals, 27 assists in 47 games, which,
Ooh.
Army, you know, in the SHL is not easy.
That's a
and
lot
they're
of
on
points.
and he's on the top team plus 16. He had a cup of coffee with Arizona.
How old is
But that's a nice little pickup for Chicago. Remember that one.
Hey, how about this? Do you guys see Biz's tweet a minute ago?
Oh.
No.
Very happy with the Leafs deadline. Atlantic and Central are stacked. Golly. Very happy, though. Very happy. I mean, I like their moves, too. Lawton and Carlo. Like, nice that they tried to get in there and hang with the Florida teams.
Biz is on crack because I think getting Carlo was a big deal. But,
Yeah.
And if Toronto had done what they did with Lawton and Carlo without what Florida and Tampa had done, it's one thing. But like
Darren Dreger, sorry to cut you off. If it got done in time, Buffalo sends Henry Yokiharu to Boston. So you get a consolation prize, G.
My boy G.
It just doesn't get any better.
G don't
This is
know
the worst
puck.
day of my life.
Gee, your hair was so slick to start the show. I could tell you were anxious. You were crashing out earlier. I wish I was on here when the Marshy trade went down so bad. Just to see you glitching and freaking out and hives and Woganowski, the whole deal, the hive on your eyeball. Oh
Hey,
my
good
goodness.
thing. Like Sweeney made this enormous big deal out of Swayman's contract. Who gives a shit at this point? And I feel so bad for Pasta because Pasta legit should be in like MVP discussions this year. He's been top 5 player in the league. He's been unreal, and he had a slow start. Now, realistically, he could go in this summer and say, "Sorry, like I'm out."
Unbelievable.
And his number is not terrible. It's 11-2.
Boys,
I mean, he absolutely could do that, and it actually wouldn't surprise. I mean, he loves Boston, though. He just had a kid. Like, you think he's gonna?
I don't think he's signed to be on the worst team in the league.
You could also tell him no. Like, you don't
could.
have to trade him.
You could.
Fuck off.
Gee, I got a confession to make. This could all be my fault. On the way out of the Four Nations, I bought my daughter a Boston Bruins hat. The first piece of merch I've ever bought of the Bruins.
It says a lot of people are writing Timmins and Fraser Minton for Carlo.
Okay.
Connor Timmins and Fraser Minton.
Okay. Okay, we like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
we'll take it.
honestly, like Fraser Minton's what, 20 years old?
20 years
yeah,
old.
he's good.
He's good.
He's a good big body two-way guy.
I think
he's
if you're
like
on
a
a great
third line centerman.
Yeah, maybe turns out to be a really, really good third line center. Which is what you need when you have.
He's got 6 goals for the Marlies this year. Like,
he's an ex-Saskatoon Blade though, G, so he's got that going for him.
Good Western.
I will
boy.
say this, boys. I waited this Marchand thing. I knew it was going to be huge. I knew it was going to be everything today, and the possibility we got like that. That was huge. The one thing where I'm just like, Dallas, Colorado, we know the Florida teams. Yes, wow. Vegas. They send out the tweet. Hi, Has the insider got you anything, or
No,
they were just messing. They were just messing.
I know. God, I hate that.
They were messing.
I
think
hate
it's
that.
done? You think everything's done?
That's great news.
Oh,
for the
no
Oilers,
way.
though.
Pasha came on and broke the trade to G. His team is out of it. Jack Hughes done. For
can
the
I
year.
just say, I got a text from
Ottawa fans, like they're like allowed to just torture you now. Like,
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up torture you.
Oh, no question.
Like,
And I
you've
think,
been ripping
and you know
on
who
these
else I think
Senators.
is torturing me? I think Sean Thornton knew this was coming. Sean Thornton texted me this morning and said,
No.
like, hey, G, in a couple months, we're doing this event, like, around playoff time. We're doing a big
Kiss of
street
death.
hockey tournament down outside the arena. We'd love for you to come down. We'll pay for you to come down. And I was like, no, I don't think I can make it. I think he knew all along Marchand was coming back.
Now you
Ottawa
want to go.
fans,
Now you can make that tournament all of a sudden. Go watch Marchand in the playoffs.
Remind G, Ottawa fans, it's BetterHelp.com.
Yes.
Over 30,000 licensed therapists. BetterHelp.com. Get involved. Talk to somebody. Talk it out. Because when you see an original 16 that happens to be your favorite squad fall completely apart in the course of 10 minutes, you need BetterHelp.
10% off your first month. Code Chicklets Game. BetterHelp.com, G.
I'm so happy as an Oilers fan, though, because we only have to play one of Winnipeg, Colorado, or Dallas. LA didn't do anything. Vegas, I'm confident we're getting to the conference final again. I know, Merles, you're like, no chance they can beat Vegas, and they didn't have to last year. But I am like, if that was LA and Vegas who did what Dallas and Colorado did, I'd be just sitting here wanting to cry like, gee.
Can we confirm that LA's frauds? They can only win at home, and now they're even having trouble doing that. Like, they're not beating Edmonton or Vegas.
Biz is the only person who says it.
Yeah,
and he's said it every year. He's an idiot.
This has just been a day. I can't believe G looks like Edward Scissorhands right now.
How don't we have a return? How don't we have a return yet on this Marchand deal? What the fuck?
It was for future considerations.
That's what Colby told me last night about Vegas, and it ruined my night. I didn't sleep an ounce. I'm like,
I was hearing some buzz. I told you, buddy. The buzz is electric around here. I was hanging out with AI Elliott with. This guy is just insane. He's insane. Freege.
I'm gonna write out a tweet. Watching the Bruins die in front of at Mike Grinnell has been an all-time honor for your boy Whit.
And then I look over and I see the Last Dance shirts I made. The
Just
Marchand,
popped up.
Krejci, Pasternak, Bergeron shirts just fucking sitting there. Fuck me.
Florida's been in the cup again, I think.
Hey, Edward Scissorhands. Hey, boys. Edward.
So, Merles, you've been constant about Florida will just bully and dummy the Leafs physically, like emotionally, and now with Marchand, like
it's not even a question. If you look at the Maple Leaf schedule, they had I think 11 out of the next 13 are like road games or something. So they've been at home where they're easy and soft. They like to play at home. They don't have what it takes to win a 7-game playoff series against men. No chance. Although the Carlo is a nice pickup. That does toughen them up a little bit, but they got Jones and Marchand. Who did the Leafs get?
They got Lawton and Carlo.
And they got
Decent, though.
Bobrovsky.
That is decent.
Oh, I think the Panthers are gonna have their fucking way with the
Tampa and the
Leafs.
Panthers, man. Tampa and the Panthers.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, though. I'll tell you. Nyes, Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, Domi, Lawton, McCann as a line. Then they got McCabe, Tanev, Riley, Carlo, Ekman, Larson. Fuck, dude, they're good. They are,
But
good.
They're good.
Just imagine walking into the locker room though and seeing you're going up against Kachuk, Bennett, Marchand. You're like, fuck.
Oh, hey, hold on. And Barkov. Oh, wait. They got Reinhardt, too. Oh, and then Verhaeghe. He's okay. Forsling. Oh, wait.
Luosterainen.
They got
That third line is the best third line in hockey, shutting down teams.
Boys, you better wear Knights armor from the Knights dinners thing. You got to go there shopping because you got to come in because those guys have like those little tire wrenches in their hockey pants. They're taking your kneecaps in Florida. Complete psycho lunatics.
Somebody wrote Don Sweeney's trending on Twitter.
What a year. Boys, so what a year.
Just the biggest loser there is.
One of the most disastrous starts like from start to finish. There was not one day of like calm, like everything's good in Bruins land. It was just a straight up dumpster fire from 2 weeks before camp.
And he wants to blame us. And he points the finger at the Spitting Up on Yourself podcast. Fuck off, Don Sweeney. Focus on your own team and worrying about getting in the fucking playoffs, you dummy.
All right, guys.
Portnoy posted a video on Marshy.
He knows
he
more
looks
puck
like
than
G.
He knows
he looks
more
like
puck
G.
than G.
He's crying.
As a guy who's like, I know puck, like he does know puck compared to G. I'll start with you, G. Actually, you're too wounded right now. Start with Army. Give me your conference finals, both sides.
Oh my God. How do we do this? I gotta say Washington.
What?
I gotta say I had them losing out in the first round though after as my bold prediction after the OV record. So maybe I'll take that back. Man, I'll give you the Stanley Cup final.
Okay.
It's gonna be Dallas and either one of those Florida teams, but how do you not look past the Panthers? But I love Tampa, but even Colorado, I just Dallas. I don't know why. I keep coming back to them.
Mer?
Vegas, of course. And I want to say Florida so easily, but then I look at Tampa that they made some deals. Yeah. They got Gord. They got Bjorkstrand, that guy's a scorer. Hedman, McDonough. This Radish guy's playing well on D now for them. Vasilevsky or Bobrovsky. Let's switch it up. Let's go to Tampa this year. Chicklets to Decathlon, Vegas to Tampa.
What a setup. Remember the Frozen Four there?
Yeah.
I think we're doing the worst travel in North America again. I think it's going to be Florida to Edmonton. I think it's going to be
Chicklets era. If that happens, Chicklets era gets off the ground this year because everybody in a hockey world had a nightmare with that. They'll be calling us. So somebody make it happen.
Fraser Minton.
Fraser Minton officially a part of the deal.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But I want to know the Marchand return. Edmonton's playing Colorado in the conference final in the West, and the Florida Panthers are playing the New York Rangers in the conference final in the East. It's a rematch of both.
Yeah, I like the Rangers doing something too.
I'm telling you, JT Miller's been unreal there. Yeah. They're going to get Fox back.
No.
The Rangers are going to get in the playoffs, and they're going to beat Washington in the first round because of Shesterkin.
And then the other two teams are.
Do you remember Shesterkin in the playoffs last year? It was the greatest goaltending I've ever witnessed.
The more we talk, the more I like the Jets too. The more I forget about them, the more I love the Jets.
The West is just so strong. It's like compared to Dallas, Colorado, Edmonton, I don't know.
Well, Edmonton did not play Colorado last year, so they played.
Yeah, the Jets did. They collapsed the Jets' faces in. It was insane. That Central Division, boys, like Billy Guerin. We didn't even talk about the Wild. What happened there?
Well, we actually talked when you were gone about the fact that it's not their time yet. They went out, they got Brazeau, the X Factor, and it's more like Merle's mentioned, they don't know Kaprizov's injury deal. Like they got $14 million coming off the books. It's not Minnie's time yet. I get it.
No, yeah.
I
okay. But that Central, man, they're on steroids in that division.
Dude,
That's a division.
What is the
DZ says Capitals Jets Stanley Cup final. Wow.
No chance. Zero.
Oh my God. It would be so Florida's got a 2-point lead against Toronto for that division, and they have Toronto has a game in hand. That winning that division, because Winnipeg pretty much already won the Central.
Tampa's
right?
3 back.
You have to win the Atlantic. You have to.
Tampa's 9-1 last 10. Toronto 7-3. Florida 8-2 last 10. They're all 3 are on fire.
Let's go. This is going to be great, boys. We're going to have a hell of a
Rangers
finish.
are 6-3-1 in their last 10, boys.
We're going to keep an eye. Rangers. Yeah, I think those wild card spots, we got to keep an eye on some of these and how it plays out in that East, that cage match. What could happen? Who could get in? And can there be something there? Could there be an upset, boys? This could be one of those years.
Tampa, Florida play each other second to last game of the season, too. That could be a preview of something, or decide the leader.
Hey, G.
Wow.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Do we think that's it? Do you think everything is cleared through?
I just want to know the return for Marchand. Like
335.
You guys want me to give some picks? You guys want me to give you a little picks for the weekend, Saturday? Get some picks out there.
I need something.
We'll give you some Saturday picks right here. Big slate up there. What do we got? 10 games. I'm gonna start early. You know, I go in the early game, and I mean now the odds are gonna change because I'm going on Tampa -1.5.
It's
the Providence Bruins now they're playing.
Biz just announced in my ear. I was listening to the broadcast. He just announced on national TV up here, the Bruins are dead. The Bruins are dead. Everybody.
That's the worst part. Is Biz just fucking gloating in this? Like
it's crazy.
I do love though that the Leafs didn't end him. Like, I didn't want it to be like a sweep first round by the Leafs. They stick the nail in the coffin. So I'm glad it's like the Leafs aren't ending this, but fuck. Biz is going to make this 10 times worse.
Let me give you a little, clue. Tell Biz to fucking blow himself. You've owned his team for 50 years. Like, what is he talking about? He can celebrate the Bruins being dead, but he can't say shit to you.
That's
I can
true.
say shit to you because you don't own my team, and my
That's
team's
true.
nasty.
You don't know
But
puck.
your team really stinks. You stink.
You don't know puck.
You don't know puck. You don't know puck.
G doesn't know puck. Saturday
G had to
picks.
get
We
out.
need the clip for the weekend, Army. Settle down over there.
Sorry. I had
Settle
my
down.
ear
We need
thing
the
and I got
clips.
distracted.
I gotta go.
for it.
Love you guys.
All right.
See you, big
Get
boy.
out of here, Whit. All right. Saturday picks. We'll just keep on the theme. We're going against the Bruins. They are done. Bruins are out. Tampa Bay -1.5. Odds are going to be screwed now, but we'll take him anyway. But I'll take Cooch to get 2 points. He'll do that. Other side of it, again, I did these before all these big deals. Florida 3-way against the Sabres. They're going to dummy them. And then late, I go Avs money line. Again, this is before the deals, but these picks are even better now. And then McKinnon over 2 points. That's for Saturday. Sunday. Oh, geez, careful. Careful with these AI images of Bears. Pasha. We're going to do the Sunday picks. Pasha. Let's get these out of the way. I've been hard on the Capitals this whole day, but I'm going to be on the Capitals. 3-way. Ovechkin, anytime goal. He's scoring all the time. He loves Sundays. There we are. Again, next play up, the Rangers. Rangers 3-way, -120. They've taken care of me on Sundays as well. And then a little parlay for the late games. Vegas and Dallas, moneyline parlay, +158.
There's the weekend. All this craziness. I'll be on TNT on Sunday with Biz again down there, flying to Atlanta, Merles. Count that as things to do. I don't even know what games we're doing, buddy. I'm going day to day. I'm just a warrior. I'm battling here. I'll just be
I'm going to try to find that real quick.
By a thread.
I mean, it's so hard for you to fly down, probably first class, stay at the Four Seasons. You know, it's just, I really feel for you, you know?
Yeah, pushing your kid on the swings, going to the ATM.
Birthday party today. Lily's
birthday party.
Birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Lily's fifth birthday. I was
Happy
up
birthday,
at
Lily.
6
Happy birthday.
a.m. Sweden.
Time's flying.
You bring the Swedish flag up. You sing the song. You bring her breakfast in bed. A couple of gifts. Nice little tradition. Then we had a nice barbecue outside. The weather's turned here, grilling some dogs. Then we went out to dinner.
Here goes the list. Here goes
3-hour trade deadline show. I wake up tomorrow, right back at it. We got the kids party during the day. We got the family party at night. And then the games. We got NHL all night. NHL all night. So
attaboy, Big Mur. We're busy guys, man. We got it all going on. And G's crashed out. He needs a nap.
Yeah.
I just think about this for a sec.
How crazy is your phone?
Don Sweeney traded Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, and Brandon Carlo and left the trade deadline without getting a first-round pick. Think about that. Like, this guy stinks. This guy is the worst GM in the fucking league. This is crazy. Boston should be revolting right now. This is insane.
I feel for you, buddy. I honestly do. Just like, what a year. That's all I have to say. What a goddamn year. We had Weidman on today, though, Mur. We had
thank you to all our guests.
Izzy jumped on. Chief. I don't know who I missed. Witter.
Yeah. We had Elio. We had
Yans.
Yans.
Getting
IVs. Did you say Chief? We didn't get to say goodbye to everybody. People were jumping in and out nonstop, so it was tough. But thanks to everybody.
Was rolling. Oh, what a day.
What a day. Thank you to chat. Shout out our sponsors. Way back when this thing started, the reason we're still buzzing is the Body Armor Flash IV. Best drink on the market. Go down to 7-Eleven, grab yours, or at Amazon. Flavor you got there, G?
I got the cucumber lime. I'm a huge fan of the fruit punch. I'm just getting into the cucumber lime. Awesome flavor as well. I'm going to need a lot of this because I'm going to do a lot of drinking over the next few days. So I'm going to need to hydrate. So I will be on the Flash IVs.
You're doing a lot of that sponsor. You're doing a lot of our other sponsor, BetterHelp.
We'll be calling BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.com/Chicklets Game. Get 10% off your first month. G's going to need 6 or 7 months to get over this Bruins season. But thank you to BetterHelp. Thank you to Body Armor. Great day. Great day.
What a day. A Friday, a trade deadline extravaganza right here, only on Game Notes. G looks like Edward Scissorhands. His heart is broken. He's absolutely destroyed. The chat was buzzing. We had guests galore. Thank you to everybody. Friday. Now you can go enjoy the weekend after this craziness, Merles. What a setup. What an absolute setup.
Yeah, we've been so lucky. Last year we did Thursdays. The deadline was on Thursday. This year we moved to Fridays, and it falls for us again.
Wow.
But this is our tradition now. This is our thing for the rest of eternity. In Chicklets world, we get the deadline show no matter the day.
I got to say thank you to Sportsnet also for setting me up, allowing me to get on Game Notes Extravaganza while working at the same time, double dipping, getting it done for the people, for the Game Notes fans, for the Chicklets fans. What a great day, boys. Love you guys. Gee, I wish I could give you a hug, man.
Sad day, bad day.
Nah, G. Look, we got Kylie in the chat, a big chatter. She's saying Maine go blue. Maine's got a couple games tonight. RPI's at Harvard in a playoff game tonight. If you want to go catch some puck down there, learn a little more puck.
I am about to become the biggest bandwagon college hockey fan. Any team that's winning, I'm a fan of them, and I need that. And everyone should respect that. What do we got?
Looks like mankind after a cage
Two quick
match.
little updates. Chris Johnson and the Pens are acquiring Connor Timmins from Toronto, and apparently the Devils are adding one more player. Remains to be seen who.
I thought Timmins was going to Boston. I thought that was part of that deal. That was fake news.
No, Timmins to the Pens. Yep. All right, I got to get back, boys.
All right, Arm Dog. See you later.
Great
show.
Right.
You guys are still cooking though? You're still going?
No, I'll just wrap it up. Just go. We'll wrap it up next. We'll be back next Friday, normal time, normal thing. Everything will be settled down. The European playoffs are going. Check out on our socials. Game Notes socials will be buzzing. I got our Game Notes team of the week will go up. The college hockey top 10 will go up. We didn't have time, obviously, to talk about it today with all the guests and trades, but enjoy your weekend. Thank you to everybody. Arm Dog, love you. Go check him out on Sportsnet. I think he's got another hour of work up there. All right, that's all I got.